What's this tournament called again? It's called Tengumania 7. There we go. Cool. And what event? What's the matchup? Do I just choose any matchup? Right. Unlimited. Let's see. I'll just watch Janky versus Tia. Are you able to see my stream or whatever? You gonna help me out, Brody? I think I used the wrong thumbnail. Let me see if I can change it. How do I change this stinking collegiate? Oh yeah, good luck on your thing, by the way. Good luck on your thing. You're welcome. You see Irvine? Broken. You actually playing those guys? Good luck, man. You're gonna need it. Yeah, gonna need it. Yeah, team's too good, bro. All right, good luck, man. Yeah. Also, I won't be interacting with chat until I figure out how to do this thing. Bye, Tyler. See you later. Testing 1, 2, 3. For what? Okay, I'm down. Yeah. Oh, when is it? When do you want to do it? Okay, just DM me and see if I'm busy for that day. Okay, bye, Tyler. Good luck. Adios. All right, guys. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Say one in the chat. All right, so here we have a matchup between Tengu Plant versus I don't have no idea. Chaos. It's a Chaos Cat Sith. We're gonna be squaring off, and he's gonna be normal summoning the Lone Fire Blossom, and let's see what his back row is. Well, we don't know because it's not public knowledge, so we're gonna have to find out. Yeah. He's gonna be going into a Lone Fire Blossom here, the Spore, and that allows him to Foolish Burial, and he's probably gonna go into a Formula Synchron here, and he's gonna Synchro Summon into Formula Synchron to draw an extra card, I believe. So he can go into a level 7 Synchro with the Teacher Hyper Librarian if he chooses to banish a Dandelion from his graveyard, so he can make a level. It looks like he's gonna respond with the Phoenix Wind Blast here, and he's gonna spin away the Spore, so he can't make the Formula Synchron. Dang, what do I do here? Let's get the. Dang, he drops a BLS down. Whoa, crazy. So he's probably going to banish here and then attack directly so that he can play around the Gores. Yep, I knew he had Gores, so now Gores is going to come down here, and that's going to allow him to block off the attack against the BLS. So the Gores token is probably going to go into the BLS the next turn, but Tia is going to be sending a back row to defend off against the monster here. So let's see what happens here. Let's see here, tribute off. So he's going to be special summoning the sorcerer here, and the sorcerer here is going to be able to banish this the BLS. And now Janky seems to be having the upper hand here, assuming that the summon is going to be gone successfully for the Chaos Sorcerer. He did ask for priority, so the best thing he can do here is to get rid of the Chaos Sorcerer, but the BLS is going to be for sure gone here, unless he has like Divine Wrath or something. Wait, I thought I turned this on. Music is low, that's why. But it's too loud, I think. I thought I turned this on. Music is low, that's why. But it's too loud, I think. Hey, that's weird. It's not working. Oh, I know why. Because I didn't put the output volume. I need a output capture device. Hopefully the music's not too loud here, but if it is too loud, let me know in the chat if the music's too loud. So he's gonna bring out the Arcanine Magician. That's gonna be useful so that he can clear out the back row, so he doesn't have to fear the back row because he's playing attack with all his monsters. Although I don't know if I would put Arcanine in defense position because he could use that to attack over a token. So this is gonna be very interesting right here. Yeah, so it does work. Here, so we're all fine here. I think he's trying to go for OTK here, if I had to guess. Yep, so he's going to activate the Econ here, and he's going to steal away the Arcanine Magician. So the Arcanine Magician is going to be able to ward off the attack, I believe. No, but he's just going to switch all the monsters to attack position, and then he's going to go straight into battle phase and attack with the token, so they can get his Arcanine Magician back. Although this kind of plays hard into the mind control if he does steal the Arcanine Magician again on the next turn, and then go to the So we'll see what happens here. Lower the volume of the song, we can't hear it come. Sorry. Thank you. I lowered it down pretty much. How's that? Does that sound good? Oh yeah, I know why. Because my volume's not very high. Let me check the audio input capture. My volume should be higher than my song. Okay, I'm gonna put it very low then. Like microscopically low. So we're gonna go into games 2. I'm trying to figure out the volume thing. I don't know why my microphone settings is so low. Audio input capture. Audio input capture. I don't know what's going on. Well, I'll just turn off the music at this point. Sorry. It's so loud. Okay. So we're going to go to games 2 and 3 here. Let's see what happens. So what would I side deck in these matchups? It's going to be a chaos matchup versus the I believe it was plants. So chaos can play their boss monsters pretty well. Plants can side deck cards like Black Horn of Heaven to hit all their big boss monsters that come out. So that's probably what I would do personally, but we'll see what happens here. So he's going to activate the duality here. He's going to add the cat sits to his hand. And the cat sit's going to be able to pop a face-up card if he discards it. So my guess is he has like either Kushano, a way to access Kushano, or a Wing Blast that's going to be set. So we'll find out here shortly. So he's going to summon here the TK Ryo. That's probably going to bait out the Warning or the Wing Blast. But if he wants the Wing Blast here, it's going to be a 2-for-1 because he'll have to discard card. So most likely is a Wing Blast. That's why he was hesitant to use it on the Thunder King Ryo. Now he's going to activate the Dark Hole here to clear the Thunder King Ryo. And that's going to be able to destroy the Thunder King Ryo so he can summon a Tour Guide or something. No, he's going to do a pass play. So it looks like Janky's opened it pretty slow here against Tia, who seems to be a lot of monsters in his hand because they didn't set anything. So they're going to normal summon the Tengu here, and the Tengu here is going to be able to put in damage. So 1700 goes direct. Let's see what happens. He doesn't warning the attack. He's going to waste a Book of Moon on the Tengu. I don't know why he would want to waste a Book of Moon on this. Maybe he's afraid of his life points going down too low. I can only speculate as to what he's trying to do here. So he's going to summon the Catsta here. I think he wants to go Mind Control. This is the only thing I can think of, but he's going to declare an attack on the Tengu. What's the defense of Tengu? I think it's low, right? Yeah, it's only 600. So Catsta actually having attack points is able to run over the Tengu here in defense position and then be able to clear the first Tengu? Yeah, it's the first Tengu. So we only know that he has 2 more left in his deck, so we'll see what happens. Now he's going to set up back row and pass. So now the Tengu is going to be able to attack over the Fable Casket and put him in the graveyard. So Janky seems to be running out of monsters here. Either that or he has a lot of boss monsters in his hand, and he needs a way to get his boss monsters or his dark monsters so he can special summon his Chaos Sorcerer. He's going to set up a card, and then he's going to pass, and then Janky just draws and passes and sets, and then Tia draws, and let's see what happens now. With the back row, let's see. So 2 back rows here, so he's going to be able to ward off the next attack. Not sure what Janky's up to, but he does try to do a Pro Storm play here. And then hopefully he's going to be able to get rid of all the monsters. He does have to give up a warning in this instance. And I was correct. He did side deck the Black Horn of Heaven for this particular matchup. Let's see what he's going to do on the clap back here. So he heavy stormed, but he has to be able to do a conversion play. Otherwise, the storm was basically for nothing. And he's gonna bring out the Gores. Okay, so now he has access to a dark monster. So the chaos monster in his hand is now all gonna be live. Most likely, he has a bunch of chaos monsters. So he's gonna have to find a way to put a tuner on the board to synchro away the Gores if he wants to make a synchro play, and then be able to synchro summon and then put a dark in the graveyard, and then special summon BLS is the play that I can see. But Tia having 5 cards in hand, it's gonna be pretty hard for Janky to actually push through all this. So he's gonna synchro summon with a token here, and that's going to allow him to make a Stardust here, and then the Stardust here is going to allow him to attack over one of the face down monsters. I'm not sure if they side Fossil Dyna, so I think he's going to attack with Stardust first. It is going to be a Dandelion token, and I think he has one more Tengu in the deck, assuming he didn't draw it. And if he does have that, then he can at least make the he can make the attack on the tokens here. So he was able to get the third Tengu, so it was in his deck after all, and he didn't draw it. So pretty good. So he's gonna dust shoot here. Look at his hand. I'm not sure what's gonna put in his hand, but he's probably gonna take out a big monster that he could take out. But he does put the note in the chat here, so we kind of know even the viewers are supposed to know what the cards are. So it does look like he has a dark hole. So he's the Stardust is able to be played around the dark hole. Pot of Avarice in his hand as well. So he's gonna force out the Stardust here by using the dark hole, and he's gonna negate with the Stardust here. I think he wants to use a heavy storm after the negation of Stardust, and then he's probably going to normal summon the Veiler, and then be able to synchro into a Formula Synchron, and then finally into a Brionac. But Brionac doesn't do anything, and Goyo Guardian is not legal in this format. So, yeah. So Forbidden Lance was used here. Most likely the Heavy Storm, what's chained. So he activated Heavy Storm. He chained the Lance on the Reborn Tengu, but that's not going to matter too much. The only thing I can see now is the Brionac play where he makes the Formula Synchron, and then he's going to bounce the Gores and attack directly for game. He's going to activate the Maxi, hoping to draw into a Battle Fader, I believe. He hasn't used the Formula Synchron yet, so he can make the Brionac here. And if I know anything, this is pretty much game. He's going to have to draw into a Veiler off the Maxi, so he could negate the Brionac to be able to stop this. He's going to activate the Avarice here. I think he wants to do this so that he could draw into an out for Veiler. But I don't see that being... even if he draws a Book of Moon for this one, putting a Brionac face down isn't so great. So we know that he has a Reborn in hand too. So he's going to have to find a way to use that Reborn to attack over the Gore somehow. I don't see how he can do that. Maybe he can normal summon. Oh, he can Reborn the Veiler and then Synchro Summon into Formula Synchron in the event that Brionac doesn't go through. So pretty much he has lethal here, unless he has 2 Veilers. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, so he does have the Veiler here to stop the Brionac, and then now he's going to be able to Reborn the Veiler or the Spore to make a Scrap Dragon. So, yeah, it looks pretty much lethal here. That's what I'm guessing. Yeah, so now it's going to go into level 8. Doesn't look like he wants to go into a formula synchron, which I kind of find surprising. Oh, maybe, yeah, he's going to have to set a back row, and then it's going to pop the Gores here. Yep. So it looks like Jaden Yugi wins against Janky. Janky did open up a lot, really slow. I'm guessing he had a lot of Chaos Monsters in his hand, and he was unable to convert that to a good strategy. So we can view the replay and see what Janky had in his last game against Tia here. So we're going to show both hands here. I'm actually kind of curious what Janky had in the second or third game. I wasn't sure. It has to be second game because they side decked, so it can't be that. So we had a Thunder King Ryo here. Tour Guide goes into Kushano. And then Janky goes into a Leviathan Dragon to bait out the Thunder King Ryo. Thunder King Ryo negates. He's going to set a Wing Blast, I believe. Yep. The Wing Blast seems pretty bad because he would have to pitch for it. The duality is not going to be able to do anything because he special summoned that turn. So a lot of plays for Tia here with Foolish Burial, Tour Guide, and Lone Fire. Even a BLS in hand too as well. He could put a lot of damage on board, but I think he's going to go for the safe route and just go detach Leviathan again. So I think that's what's going to happen. Oh, I had to hit the play button. My bad, sorry. Okay, so he's going to attack 2,000 first before X-seizing in case that face down is a warning. He does this so that he can waste 2,000 life points additional to the attack. So no attack points, no warning here. He's going to activate the duality that he has in his hand. So he doesn't plan on special summoning. I think he was trying to get a discard fodder. Now the best play for him is to set Sangan. He can also special summon Sorcerer by banishing the Kushano, but that feels kind of bad to banish the light monster for this. Yeah, sorry to finally see your post, Joaquin. Yes, wish I could play this turn if I knew about it. Yeah, I posted it on my Instagram, posting about it. But the way you sign up is you have to join the TPT Discord, and then hit the notification, get a role for the tournament play, so that you're allowed to play. So Foolish Burial is taking out the Dandelion. Yeah, so we saw this play already. And I'm just going to fast forward to the next game here because I know what happens. BLS comes down. He attacks over. Yeah, Gorse comes down here. And then I think he was able to win this game because, yeah, Chaos Sorcerer banishes the BLS. Normal summon the Fabled Cat Sith. Make the Arcanine Magician steal it. Yep. Shift after the attack mode. Yeah, he definitely had the mind control as I thought he would. So this plays into the mind control. He's going to steal it and then make the scavenge. Yep. So that's exactly what happened. Oh, he didn't have a hand of sorcerer monsters. He just had a bunch of spell cards. Oh, that sucks. So Janky was unable to see a hand of anything, really. So the Fable cast Sith losing against Tengu Plant. So I've never seen this matchup before, but it looks like Janky just drew really bad. But Fable cast Sith was not able to get good conversion. So I think he drew into the Gores eventually. So he did draw a Chaos Monster, and he did have the Gores so that he can play his Chaos Monster. So he's going to Synchro Summon and Stars. Yep. So the BLS, I think he might have misplayed. If he had made a BLS, he would have been able to attack over all his Tengu, and he wouldn't be able to Synchro Summon. He would have to use the Dark Hole So I don't know. Maybe the token. What was the token stat at? I think it was at 3,000. I think. So I'm not entirely sure. What's up, Echo YGO in the house? Hey, I watched your video recently on the MTG guessing deal. That was pretty cool. I liked it. I didn't know anything about MTG as well. I know how to play the game. I just don't know the cards, the powerful cards in the game. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Good watch. I didn't even know who that guy was until he had you on. So pretty cool. Is that Mr. B? I think so. Yeah, I used to play Magic. Well, I played casually. I didn't play competitively. Because I was a poor college student at the time, so I was just playing with what I had, pretty much. My friend lent me all his cards. Basically, I played like blue white. So that was my color combination that I played. But that's all I played. I didn't. I played in drafts sometimes, but I never did well because I played against all the veterans that were in my area. So Magic's huge. It's a huge game. So we're gonna go out of this game here. I'm gonna try to find another game that's currently going. So we know that Janky bricked in games 2. Let's watch Simply Yu-Gi-Oh here. Looks like it's going to be a matchup between agents versus plants. So a pretty classic matchup, I would say. Turbo. So he's going to be staring down a set monster with Christia. That always feels kind of scary to attack into a set with Christia. But most sets in this format aren't anything to worry about for the most part. Well, yeah, I'm looking at his graveyard. I don't think I see anything here that they could set that would be scary. Unless they have a Snowmaner in the main deck. But I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Zerg is playing Cloudians, according to Jink. So, yeah, maybe. Oh, I'm not. Oh, yeah, Zerg is the guy in the bottom, huh? But I'm seeing plants here. So, did he change decks? No, he is playing Cloudians. Yeah, I just checked. So, it looks like he's not playing Agents and he is playing Cloudians. Sorry, I wasn't checking the graveyard. All I saw was Arshla Christie, and I was like, oh, this guy's playing Agents. And then, yeah, thank you for the info here. Sure, just want to let you know you can't special. Yeah, I think he knows that. Did he try to summon a lone fire and then use the effect? Because he can't even attempt to summon. Cloudias are just like a combination of both plants and fairies using Christia and Orange Light with the plant engine. Yeah, plant engine is really insane in this format because you can make like TG Hyper Librarian with Christia or TG Hyper Librarian into a Formula Synchron and draw 2, and then be able to draw into your boss cards. Although I don't see the synergy with the Cloudians though, unless this is the only Cloudian he plays. These two, but I can't imagine him playing actual Cloudians. Like the ones that remove fog counters to destroy things on the field or discard things on the field or from the hand. So yeah, that's pretty cool though. I like Cloudians. I just can't make it good in Edison. So I'm not sure. Oh, he Veiler. Okay, so he Veiler. That's why he's able to special summon. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to do this. So it looks like he's trying to go into main phase 1 here. But now the Veiler's going to punish him, and he's going to be able to make big synchro plays. A Trishula is most likely going to come down here to banish the face down. And if it's like a reborn Tengu and he banishes face down, it's not going to do much because the Tengu doesn't activate once face down. So he's going to be able to put in like 5,500 damage with the Chrissy on board. So the only thing he has to play around is Gores. So hopefully he's going to be able to hit the Gores out of the hand and then make sure it's not a problem. Yeah, it's basically an engine basically using turbulence instead of smoke ball. Yeah. Smoke ball is used though. So they're going to use smoke ball and they're going to be using turbulence. So, yeah, not too sure. So Dark Designator here is going to banish a Dark and a Light. Oh no, he's going to banish it from the graveyard so that he could prevent the BLS from coming down. Right. All right, so now it really comes down to whether or not he wants to attack into a Gorge or not. That's really what it comes down to. So simply Yu-Gi-Oh wins the match here. Perfect. Okay, cool. So really easy little matchup here. So he didn't have a Gores in hand to block out the attack. So looks like he just went for it and he actually got rewarded for it. So simply Yu-Gi-Oh wins against Dark Signer. Dark Signer's plant deck. So Cloudian Fairies doing actual things here. So pretty cool engine. I really like that innovation. So good on Zerg for putting that into play. So we're gonna find to another game here. Let's see what I want to put here. Let's watch Riptide versus Halfar. So it looks like there's going to be a matchup between Plants with Battle Fader. No, it's Mystic Piper Chaos. So Halfar has been gassing this deck up, and he's playing a Chaos deck with frogs in it. So against a Naturia Beast and Steel Storm Roach with no materials against Naturias. So easy Naturia Beast with the Steel Storm Roach. That's going to be very interesting to say. Okay, and Riptide was a match. So we don't even know what happened. All we know is that he pretty much bricked out, and maybe he was able to negate all the spells. But Halfar testing against most of the meta decks, and he said that he was like 12 and 0 or 13 and 0 against most of them. But then he goes and face out against a Naturia deck, and the Naturia deck actually takes him out. So it's so like ironic, I guess, to see that happen. That's what happens when you don't test against other decks. But Naturia's, I don't think it's a real deck, but it seems like Riptide was able to find a good build of this deck. So let's look at the replays here and see what actually happened while the game was occurring here. Kind of curious to see what the Naturia Beast or the Naturia deck is up to. He is playing on the Goblinberg, and that's going to allow him to go into an instant Naturia Beast. So he probably plays the Goblinberg as a warrior type to be searched by reinforcements of the army, and then being able to special summon a Naturia and Cherry to make an instant Nat Beast. So that's the name of the plan here. Seems to be a very Six Samurai strategy to be able to make the first turn Naturia Beast. Awesome that you stream again. Yes, thank you, Nan. Sometimes I stream, sometimes I don't. I'm just a boomer. I just don't know how to stream very often. So I don't know how to make all the marquees and the dono goals and all that stuff yet. So until then, I'm just going to do all the VOD plays that I've been doing for my channel. I always hit the play button. So Mystic Piper sets the Treeborn Frog. Opens up pretty slow. The Allure Darkness could have been used here to banish the Kinko Bio, but I think he wants to use the Mystic Piper to use it multiple times. Also, the Cherry Beast can just negate the Allure Darkness. I forgot. So I was going to fast forward here. He's going to number summon the Cliff here. Beat over the Treeborn Frog. Attack directly with the Cliff. I think he has a warning set. No, he doesn't. So I guess he doesn't fear the Gores, because the Gores would have been able to punish the Cherry Beast here. The Mystic Piper is only going to see more spells. So First Intermission Beast doesn't seem too good against. I mean, it seems really good against Halfar's build here. He's going to go into the overlay into Roach. This is the same board that we had in the games where Riptide won the match here. So I guess he can make this board really easily by the looks of it. So he's going to reborn the Goblin Bvrr, and then he's going to attack more into the Gores here. And then he just loses. Wow, crazy. So Halfar not be able to summon a big monster, it's a big deal. He's going to summon the tour guide. So he does look like he does play the tour guide here to run over big monsters. He's going to MC and attack over the tour guide with a cliff. And then had he only made the Naturia... Oh, I see. So he's going to use the enemy controller on the Sangan. And he's going to search, attack what's cliff. Normal summon the Veiler, I'm assuming. Synchro summon the Catastrophe. That's going to get bottomless. And now he needs a dark monster in the grave. He does. So he can bring out his Chaos Sorcerer. But the Lad being in the deck kind of makes it interesting. Maybe he sized out a lot of his spell cards so that he could play the game, basically. Sorcerer's going to come down here and attack over the Goblinberg, and he's going to set a Treeboard Frog so that he could sacrifice for Lad next turn. So he's going to go into Formula Synchron. Pretty cool build so far. Plays a lot of level 1s. So the Naturia Cherry is going to float into 2 more, almost like Nimmo Momongra. That's kind of cool. The Naturia Butterfly is also a tuner that can gain an attack. He instant fusions into this guy, Flower Wolf, who's a level 5 Earth monster, and then he makes a Barkion. But he has to go like super hard into the play just to get rid of 1 Scrap Dragon. And that could have been met with the Veiler, so that Riptide had to like go neg so hard just to get over the Scrap Dragon. Sorcerer's going to be able to banish the Scrap Dragon. He's going to normal summon the Tour Guide, overlay into Levier. Levier is going to make a Formula Synchron. He's going to Synchro summon the Trishula with the Treeborn Frog, Chaos Sorcerer, and the, yeah. So it looks like Riptide was able to actually get 2-1 victory as opposed to a 2-0 victory. So Kais comes down, banishes the Cherry Cliff, and then he brings out the Gores for the punish. So I think I know how the game ends here. He could go into Black Rose here to blow up the field. And then now he's going to top deck into a Mirror Force. Attacks with the Dragonfly. What does this thing do? Can't be destroyed by monsters with 2,000 or more. So pretty cool build. He's going to go into Naturia. Oh no, he's going to go to Steelstorm Roach after this, if I remember correctly. And that's going to seal out all of the Chaos Sorcerer. No enemy controller to steal the Roach. Attacking with cherries into the face down. So kind of crazy. You should make a top cut video this time. Yes, I will. Sorry. I just read your comment. Yes, I will definitely do that. He's going to normal summon the Veiler, Synchro summon into Formula here. And then, yeah, pretty insane. So the Meteor Force is going to be meeting the Leviathan Dragon, Meteor Forcing everything. He's going to attack directly for 19. Yep. So we see the board before, so we know the ending of this. Although I don't know why he didn't steal the Roach to special summon the BLS. So I'm a little curious as to why he didn't do that. He could have saved a lot of damage. This plays into the warning a little bit, so he has the... Oh, I see. He can't econ because there's the Cherry Beast. So, yeah. So he warned, yeah. So I see how he was able to win this game. Yeah, I was on the assumption that econ can be activated, but he can't use that until... Well, there was a turn where he only had the Roach, so he could have used the enemy controller to steal the Roach, but he needed a follow play. I don't think he had a tribute fodder to... Does this have to tribute itself? Yeah. So it look like how far just got like Naturia Beast out of the game, I would say. So yeah, that's a replay for you guys. I'm gonna go into the next one. Not sure if the round's starting for the next one, but I'm just gonna find another game. Looks like they're still playing here. So Team BVIR here. He's actually a local player of mine, so I actually know this guy in real life. And he is playing Chaos Fable Cassette against GBs with oh yeah, this deck. Yeah, this is the skill, the non-effect deck. So it looks like BVRR is on the aggression here, and he was able to win against the vanilla deck. Unfortunate. Had really fun. GG's. Yeah. So let's look at the replay here. Let's see what happened in this particular game. Okay, so he's going to duality here. Gets the Thunder King Ryle. Summons the Thunder King Ryle into the field. Heat waves first, so he tries to seal off the summoning the next turn. So, but he doesn't stop setting. So that's why I don't like Heat Wave in this deck, because it doesn't stop people from normal summoning a monster that's normal summoned, and it doesn't stop them from setting a monster. So it's a good idea in concept. It's kind of short sighted, I would say. So it looks like he's gonna make a Trishula here, and that's gonna get warning. The Sorcerer's going to come down, and then he's going to overlay for Utopia to rid of the Sorcerer. So, and then the Sorcerer's going to get run over. He's going to Heat Wave again, attack over the set. So, I think they're trying to go for like life points. But Gorz is still in the hand, so he's going to have to draw a Heat Wave again to deal with it. See, the thing about Floodgates is that it doesn't get rid of any cards. This is a Floodgate spell card that lasts until the end of your opponent's turn. So it's a weird Floodgate because it doesn't really stay on the board. So that's why Heat Wave's not that good, I would say. Even in a vanilla deck where it needs it. But I think the best card in this deck is Heart of the Underdog, which allows them to draw a bunch of vanilla monsters. But the vanilla monsters don't do anything. They don't turn into anything. So, yeah. It's a creative deck for sure. But, yeah, props for that part. Let's go into another game. So let's see here. There's no names I recognize here. Looks like the round's over, I think. So we're going to wait for the next one. For the time being, we'll just play some music. In hindsight, they should have just killed Roach with Treeborn with Econ switch to defense mode, but it was a bad play with the game because Chaos Monsters weren't even live. Yeah, that's true. And yeah, I guess he did look at the replays afterwards, so he was able to make a good commentary on that one. Yeah, well, Naturias, it's like you don't know what they're up to, because for the most part, it feels like it's a bad deck because it plays a recruiter. But the Goblin Bird being able to go into the Naturia Cherry is kind of like a game changer in some ways. So, I don't know. Because he would have to draw like a back row to stop Tour Guide, because Tour Guide still beats over Interior Beast. So if he was unlucky, I mean, how far was unlucky? He didn't draw a Tour Guide to out the Interior Beast or the Roach, and so he needed one of those 3 cards in his deck to run over those monsters. His back row was like a Solemn Judgment, I think, MST, and like some other spell card. But didn't feel, everything was a Dark War. So didn't feel too good, for sure. I'm just gonna click on one of these. Maybe it's one of these. Yeah, this looks like a Tengumania. Hopefully this matchup will be watching. There's 3 people watching this one, so I'm guessing this is a Tengumania event. We do see the deck that played the Wind Mist Valley Soldier deck, and he is playing the Swords of Revealing Light. Not sure if there's a way to bounce this particular spell card back to his hand, but maybe there's a reason why he plays this over like a trap card or something. 3 cards, I guess it's 3 turns of doing nothing. Giving up your battle phase is kind of interesting because this deck uses the Ancient Fairy Dragon, and then being able to use the Ancient Fairy Dragon and then blowing up your field spell so that you can special summon more is the idea, but you have to give up your battle phase, so I can see why they're playing Swords of Revealing Light to make sure
with
that
the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card, earn unlimited 2% cash back on purchases you want, like dance lessons.
Ow, ow, ow.
And on what you need, like memory foam inserts. That's real life ready. Visit wellsfargo.com/activecash. Terms apply.
Alright, so Leviars was gonna come down here. He's gonna come down here to detach the Kushano. My guess is he has like a cast Sith in hand, but that doesn't play around the Stardust unless he plays like a way to out the Stardust. So I imagine the Ancient Fairy Dragon here is going to special summon into a Strat Dragon. He's gonna make a Dandelion here in defense position, and then he can go into an Armory Arm, I think. So he's gonna make a black one here. Get 2 tokens, but he clogs himself here. That doesn't feel good at all. Unless he wants to blow up the field. But that still doesn't feel good. So they're on top deck war and also Stardust on the field. Okay, so he's gonna Mist Valley Soldier. Mist Valley's Divine Wind of the Mist Valley. Oh, okay, so he has some plays here. Although I don't know a level 7 that can deal with this board or Ancient Fairy Dragon. Bounces back something. I guess he can bounce back the build spell. It looks like he, I don't know. Like, is there a monster that can actually clear Ancient Fairy Dragon here? Oh, the music is. I'm sorry. I forgot to turn up the music. So I don't be tempted here. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. The music is too loud. Yeah, what's up, Playtest? Glad to hear you commentate. Yes, sorry. Yes, but unfortunately, you guys can't even hear me commentate unless I have this thing off. Oh, he does have a monster, so he does have the Thunder Lord here, which gains attack points. So yeah, that's nice. That's gonna give him what, 500 attack? Does this give him attack? No. So this is gonna bounce back a card. So that's gonna go with 3100 attack. Okay, so now I'm actually educated as to what the Mist Valley deck can do. Looks like he could run over the Ancient Fairy Dragon here using this particular synchro here. I did not see that coming for sure. Yeah. This plays into that guy. So he's going to summon the Fable Casted here so that he can Synchro Summon into Formula. And he's going to draw a card here. If he has like Shooting Star Dragon, he can steal the Stardust with Mind Control. And then he can make a Shooting Star Dragon. I've seen someone do that despite the fact that it doesn't seem that good. And he's going to scoop it here. So it looks like he wasn't able to draw into anything. And also, a lot of people don't play Shooting Star Dragon in their deck. I forgot how underrated the Mist Valley deck is in Tengu. Yeah, it's definitely underrated. I'm starting to see the plays that this deck can do, and it's pretty good. So we're gonna go into games 2 and 3. I have no idea what they side deck in this game, so Maybe you guys can enlighten me on what they side deck against this particular matchup. Oh, he just scoops. Judge, tell me it's a draw. Oh, the time was gone. Okay, so they just took forever on the time. That's what happens, guys. You just got to play faster. So yeah, we're just gonna skip out of this one, just because they couldn't finish the match in time. So it is a draw. So let's see what we're gonna do now. We have to find another game. Oh no, the round's over, so there's no way there's another game. So we guys gonna have to pretty much wait here until the next game starts. So what are you guys up to today? Did you guys build a specific deck for this tournament? For those of you guys who didn't join, I know Joaquin in the chat wanted to join this tournament, but he was unable to. Most likely he was gonna play like Agents, if I had to guess. Agent's a good deck for sure. So what can you do? One, two. Okay, so let's see. So we're gonna turn. Let's see. I guess we could just watch some random games. Oh, look at this hero signal. Oh yeah, that's my tech right there. We saw him did last year. Playing Cassette wanted to get used to the deck again. I know there was a player that named by the name of ProStorm who wanted to join the tournament, but he woke up too late for this tournament, unfortunately. So it looks like he has the Bubble Man in the Spell and Trap zone. Not entirely sure, but this deck is pretty jank, so I'm not gonna watch it. So yeah. Oh no. What is this? This is a Tangu platform format. So or yeah, that was that was just a random game that I saw. This is goat format because I know this guy's username. He only plays goats, from my knowledge. But we can watch it if you want until the next round starts. Oh, never mind. He's playing Edison with reinforcements of the army. Oh, this is an alt art. So it looks like he just wanted to play goats, but he's playing Destiny Heroes. Not sure what's going on over there. Let's get this card. Let's watch another game here. Oh, Team Bvrr is on. Okay, let's watch this guy. So BVRR is going to start off the game here. He's going to do a set. Most likely it's going to be a Gravekeeper monster, I believe. He's going to back it up with a two trap cards. Pretty dangerous to set two in this particular format because of Heavy Storm. Unless he has like a dust shoot set or like a scapegoat set, I don't see this being a good play. But even then, scapegoat is like it clogs your board. That's what I don't like about it. So he takes the risk into walking into a heavy storm, and then he doesn't have it. So good for him, I guess. So he's gonna warning the Tengu here. Warning the Tengu. So most likely he does have a spy set. Otherwise, his spy would have been able to block off the Tengu effect. So not entirely sure what he's trying to do here. It was a spy after all, so I don't know. I don't feel like the warning should have been summoned here. Then he summons a descendant. The descendant doesn't have any like. I mean, I guess he can play around Gores here, so he can do 2415. So that feels all right. Yeah, I guess so. So he's gonna overlay into main phase 2. Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I guess you could do that play too as well. So this is gonna block off the attack from the Descendant if they get attack on him. But unless he's playing Gravekeepers, the Descendant doesn't really have value unless he has like another copy of his. Oops. Fuck. So he's gonna set a monster here after the Tengu. Let's see here. Maybe he has a Caius in his deck, but they don't play Caius usually in Chaos Cat Sith. So he's gonna lure here. He might summon a level 1 tuner to synchro with the Descendant. I can see that happening. So he walks into a Spear Reaper. Unfortunate. So I don't know what DVIR is going to have to do in this particular situation. Because the Catastor is not going to run over the Spear Reaper, so I feel like Spear Reaper just walls him off for a while until he draws into like a light monster. So he needs this to go to the graveyard somehow, so that he can bring out his Chaos Sorcerer or BLS. That's the only way I see him coming out of this situation. Because at this point, Broccoli Rocket can just control the board with the Spear Reaper. Curious of how USC Dud, a Goat, Edison, Tengu, UTW. I wonder if any of y'all would ever host one on DB. Oh, YCS. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, eventually, I think they did do a Goat YCS thing. So that might be already done. Oh, it looks like he draws into a spy here. His third spy out of the deck. And he's able to take out the Spear Reaper. So now he can just declare an attack. So he was able to out the monster. But now he has to deal with the downline token, and that doesn't feel too good here. Okay. I mean, Broccoli Rocket's not out of the game yet, even though he does have half his life points. BVIR still in a commanding position. He does have a downline in the graveyard, so he can normal summon a Spore or a Glow Bulb to make a formula. And then do nothing with that. I mean, he would have to draw like mind control as well on top of that. So it's not quite over yet. So he's gonna use the Foolish Burial here. So he summons the Tengu Foolish Burials, and so he can make like a Bryanak play to deal with the Utopia. He can also make a Trishula play with the Dandelion. So he can banish the Dandelion, special summon the Spore, and then make the Trishula. But this kind of walks into the Warning a little bit, or the Wing Blast. Most Chaos Casted lists has like ways to deal with this. Let's go, Team BVR. You got this. Yeah. Hey, Bonnie, how you doing? So Manny's going to be in the chat here. Manny is a supporter of Team BVIR, so he's going to be watching, supporting his homie. So his homie's going to activate the Solemn Judgment to negate the Trishula. So I had a feeling it was something similar to what was going to happen, but we'll see what happens here. So the Tengu's going to float, just regardless of the Trishula being Solemn Judgment. So yeah. He could summon. What can he do now? I mean, he could econ here. Oh, it looks like he does have the Pot of Avarice. So the one of Pot of Avarice coming in clutch to be able to get the Reborn Tengus back in the deck. So this Reborn Tengu effectively becomes a floater for like 4 different targets. So a little pesky for sure. Hopefully he didn't draw into another one. Oh, it looks like he does draw the Mind Control. So he could make a Utopia, and it's going to be a Utopia battle where Utopia is just going to be negating all kinds. But I'm pretty sure Team BVR has like a way to out this. Utopia, he just has to draw like a, I don't know. There has to be some way to make like a Scrap Dragon easily in this deck, but I don't see it happening. Unfortunately, drew nothing. So I was going to go to main phase 2 after the Dark Hole was played. No, what happened to the board? Let's pay attention. Okay, so Chaos Sorcerer comes down here, and he's able to banish the Utopia and the Spy. Oh, it looks like they just went straight into battle phase, and then they didn't negate the attack. I think that's what happened. So it's going to attack me. 800. Mind Control doesn't declare an attack. So okay, so Dark Arm's going to come down here, and that's going to get Veilered by the... that's going to get Veilered, so then he has to find a way to deal with the face-down monster. But most face-down monsters aren't that threatening. You can also Synchro Summon here into an Arcanine Magician or a Stardust with the Dark Arm. Ooh, okay, so it looks like he wants to go for the Stardust play here. Or no, he wants to go Dark End, my bad. So Dark End's going to be able to send that monster to the graveyard without using a monster or card on his field. And yeah, that's pretty much a defeat from a mid defeat from Broccoli Rocket. So yeah, now it's gonna go into games 2. So there was some interesting plays that BVR did. He did warning the Tengu on play, but it looked like Broccoli drew like 2 Tengus or something, or he drew into a Tengu to circumvent the warning. So sometimes you can actually bluff. That's why I don't warning Tengu, because there's a chance that Tengu. The Tengu player drew a second Tengu or third Tengu. So it feels pretty bad warning a 1700 monster, especially since you have a wall of 2000. So I'm not entirely sure what was the move. What was the move there? Not drawing anything here. Level 3. Hmm. So now the game 2 is going to start here, and Broccoli Rocket sets does a T set. Then now TV. Oh, it's not a T set. It's actually 2 sets. I'm a fucking moron. Okay, so it looks like Caius was brought down here, and targeting the Caius. So the Dandelion is chain link 1, Caius is chain link 2, Sangan doesn't get its effect, so he's gonna take 1,000. So Foolish Burial is going to come down here to discard. He's gonna go Maxi on the Dandelion effect, or no, he should have waited. He should have definitely waited on the Maxi here, on the Glow Bulb effect. So now he can just Foolish Burial a Spore or a Glow Bulb. So this is definitely a waste of a Maxi here. Now he's just gonna attack and not special summon. What did he dump? He dumped a Glow Bulb, so he's gonna Phoenix Wind Blast here. Discarding a Cathsith, so this is going to be able to clear the Caius and face down monster, or face down spell trap. So Wing Blast is going to be able to bounce back to set back to the top of the deck, and then the Cathsith is going to be able to blow up the Caius here. So now it's Team BVR's turn. I think he has a Darken Light. No, he doesn't. He only has the... yeah, definitely he should have waited for the Glow Bulb to be activated before he uses the the Maxi, because then he would have been able to at least get a 1-for-1. So now he's going to use the bulb effect. Duality? What did he use for duality? He revealed something. Looks like Team BVR with his dad jokes. He goes Bulbasaur. So the bulb's gonna come down here. Let's see. So he could make a formula synchron, and then synchro into. Well, does he have a spore? He doesn't have a spore. So the formula is just gonna draw him an extra card and do nothing. Not much going on here. Just setting. They're just setting here. So he did a bulb effect. Oh, because he's under max C. That's why he didn't want to synchro summon right away. Or maybe he is trying to take the max C challenge. I don't know. So formula synchro right here is going to draw him a card. That's going to allow him to draw a card. And then he's going to summon the Tengu here. A Black Rose will be pretty good here because BVIR is only at 3 cards after the Black Rose. So he's going to make a TG Hyper Librarian here, and he could synchro summon into level 8 here. What can he do from here? I think he could go into Black Rose, but it doesn't feel good. I think it's better to like hold the formula synchron on your opponent's turn. Because if he made Black Rose, he could make Tengu. No, he can't make it where Tengu comes out before or after. Sorry. So he's gonna go into Bryanak here with the Tengu and the formula and the just the Tengu and the formula. So he has kind of like respond to the summon, but there's still priority. I'm pretty sure Bryanak has priority here to discard. No, actually he doesn't, because TG Hyper Librarian is forced to draw a card because it's mandatory to draw. So Bryanak doesn't get priority here, unfortunately for him. So that's gonna pass the turn. He's gonna draw a card here. So BVRR really behind on card advantage here, but it looks like he is gonna wing blast the Bryanak here, so he doesn't have to worry too much. He's gonna activate the Avarice here to return 5 cards. So let's go. He's kind of behind though. With the Call to Haunted being able to resolve, what did he flip it on? Did he chain it? Why is Call to Haunted face up? So he probably brought back the. No, he couldn't have brought back anything, because this feels weird. I'm not sure what's going on. He activated Pot of Avarice, and then there's a face up Call to Haunted. He might have used it to synchro summon. I completely missed what happened. So 1-for-1's going to come down here. So it looks like he's going to go Unga Bunga here. and he's going to be able to synchro summon a bunch. But the Formula Synchron got recycled, so he's going to be able to resolve the effect of TG Hyper Liberian and draw 2 cards here. That always feels nice. So draw. So Broccoli Rocket at a massive advantage over BVIR here. 7 cards in hand, so he could synchro summon here into a Black Rose if he wanted to, but there's no need to do that unless BVIR commits more. So he can probably do some more synchro plays, I imagine. Hmm. Seven, 8 cards in hand. Jeez. So the Bright Axe going to be able to bounce a card back. Is he trying to go for lethal? I think so. Because, oh no, he does he have a Dark and Light? He does. So he could theoretically have a BLS and end the game by bouncing these 2 cards with Bryanak. So I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to discard the Lone Fire here, discarding this set card, and then he can set another, bounce this other set card here. But it is a Scapegoat. So unless he wants to bounce 4 more cards, this is not lethal. So he's going to use the Ojama Black tokens to block off the attack if he wants to. Let's see how daring Broccoli is. I mean, he can calculate lethal, I'm sure. I'm assuming he drew into BLS because there's no reason why he would do this. So Scrap Dragon comes down here, so it looks like he's going to draw an extra card here before the battle phase. So I don't know. This looks like an OTK to me. It really does. Unless BVIR has like a Gores in his hand. I mean, it's possible, but I'm not entirely sure. Hmm. Ooh, yep. No Gores. Okay. So it looks like the game goes to Broccoli Rocket, and it's now going to go into game 3. So I don't know what they're going to side deck for games 2 and 3. It was Plants versus Chaos. Maybe does Tengu Plants side deck DD Crow? I think they do, right? Because it's searchable by Sangan, and Sangan is mostly accessible for the most part. But I don't know if DD Crow is really good. There's also Soul Release and Blackhorn of Heaven. My solution for side decking is always going to be like actual cards that hit something as opposed to floodgating or stopping cards from coming out. So he's going to summon the Thunder King Ryo and set here. That seems like an okay play for the most part. Broccoli top YCS Toronto back in 2011. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Do you know what his real name is? And what did he top with? Sorry, I'm just seeing the chat right now. So he's gonna normal summon the Lone Fire here. If he goes into a Spore or a Glow Bulb, he could use Mind Control or Enemy Controller to steal the Thunder King Ryo. But it looks like Broccoli Rocket is just going to go into a Dandelion defense mode. BVRR is going to activate the MST in the end phase to destroy the MST. He made top 16 and top with Tengu Plant. I don't know his real name, but the tournament is on the format library. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. So it looks like there's going to be a lot of different names here that top the Tengu Plant, historically speaking. So 2 Thunder King Ryo is able to come down here. So this would feel really bad if he was able to. Well, my control, Break Control's not in this format, so enemy controller could steal the Thunder King Ryo here and crash the Thunder King Ryo. So that's a play that he could do. Um, yeah, so it looks like it's gonna be a battle of the Thunder King Ryo here. No damage step tricks at all. So it's pretty much 2 stun decks playing off you against each other. BVIR is gonna MST the Solemn Judgment, Solemn Warning here. So that's gonna make his next play safe. Although I don't think he has much plays going on unless he summons a tour guide. Nice top deck house. This tournament for Salt King is the Tengu Plant tournament that happened. It's going to be called Tengumania 7. So yeah, if you guys are interested in Tengu Plant format, I do Tengu Plant format for my channel because it is kind of popular. So I was right. He was able to draw into a tour guide here and then special summon Kushano. And then he can overlay here into Leviathan Dragon and then I'd beat over the monster, I think. But he's going to go straight into battle phase. Putting the Kushana in defense mode is an interesting choice, but it makes sense because he can only run over 1 tour guide or only 1 summon anyways. So main phase 2, he's going to overlay into... Well, he can't go into Levier because there's nothing banished, but he can go into Leviathan Dragon here, detaching the Kushano. And then he's going to pass turn, I believe, after the attaching, because it's main phase 2, so he's going to go draw phase. So Broccoli Rocket seems to be on the back foot here, but he did find a way to make a Catastor, but that could be negated with Thunder King Ryo and many of the Chaos sets. So could be anything. So the Tengu's going to come out here. So I think that's the last Tengu, I believe, right? Yeah, he already used 2 of them on the field. So he could use the Spore ability to banish and make a level 8, but this walks into like many different traps that Chaos has. He can use like Phoenix Wing Blast to deal with the Scrap Dragon. Scrap Dragon pretty much has to go priority here. And if he doesn't call priority, Wing Blast is just going to deal with it. So he's going to go straight into battle phase. This walks into a Lance too. So many ways to out this. So it looks like BVRR is going to go into damage calc or damage step. And then most likely it's a Lance. Yeah, so this outs the Scrap Dragon. So Broccoli Rocket at 3 cards to BVR's 5. It's going to be pretty deadly. So BLS is going to come down defense position here to priority banish. And then end phase BVRR is going to activate the scapegoat to get 4 tokens. So this means that he could summon a fabled Cathsith. He can even retrieve the Kushano from the graveyard by discarding the Cathsith and then blowing up the BLS. There's multiple ways to deal with this. But it looks like he's going to go for the play where he normal summons the Cathsith that's opposed to getting the Kushano out of the graveyard. I guess he wants to draw cards over synchro summoning into a level 7, 6, and 5. So Formula Second is going to come down here. It looks like he did draw into a Chaos Monster. Is it going to be the BLS or is it going to be the Chaos Sorcerer? Either way, it's good because you can go to Trishula with the Chaos Sorcerer, with the Formula Sacron and the token here to be able to banish the BLS so he can't reborn it back later. But if it's a BLS, then BLS is still good because he can banish. What are you waiting for? Doesn't start a chain. Yeah. So BLS is going to come down here. The question is whether he wants to attack directly. How often do I do these Tengu Plant tournaments? I don't do the tournaments myself. I'm mainly just broadcasting the tournament. The tournaments, if you're interested in joining, it's going to be on the Tengu Plant Discord. So if anybody wants to link him to the Tengu Plant Discord on my chat, I welcome it because my hands are kind of tied right now. So he summons an Armory Arm here, so he could use the Armory Arm to enhance the stat of BLS. That's going to inflict 3,000 damage directly with the ability. Oh, it looks like he has a Reborn. So this looked like it's going to be lethal with the Reborn in the event that Broccoli Rocket doesn't draw into a Gores. Because if he does have Gores, then he could still stall this game. Looks like BVR wins this game. Chaos Catsys doing a lot of work, especially in the early games where it controls the game with Thunder King Ryo. And in the later stages of the game, it plays the boss monsters to win the game. So pretty good. Pretty good on their part, for sure. Let's find another game. I don't know who else is undefeated. Let me check my my brackets. I actually can't look unless I use my phone. For the sake of anonymity. So we could just click into a random game for the most part. Let's see here. I don't know any names here. These names don't seem familiar to me. Yeah, I think all the games have been wrapped up. Let me double check here with Tyler. I need access? Why do I need access? So I'm unable to access the database to see who's in the tournament still. Looks like they changed the permission. So we're just gonna have to guess here and click on the first one. Nope, that's a modern deck. Olan? No, is this hat format? Has a Neptibus. This is not even. I don't know what I was watching there. I think it was Speed Duels. Slime Hero. Oh, look at that. We got Witch of the Black Forest action here. So, yeah, pretty nice. We're going to leave this chat here. I do need to use the bathroom, so I'll be back. So, in the meantime, let's go to some music history. Playlist, bro. They don't play playlists? Okay, whatever. Enjoy this riveting gameplay. Who's Slime Hero here? Yeah, where are all the Tengu Plant tournaments happening? 6 sleeves. Look at this. Kizan and Dark. I actually had to help this person. I like those sleeves. That looks nice. I don't think this is a Tengu deck though. This is just I don't think this is a Tengu Plant matchup. So we see 2 sets here. We see 15 cards in their extra deck, but that doesn't say much. Oh, trap tricks. Never mind. This is probably hat format. Let's go in the Discord. Maybe they'll alert people. Discord, TPT. Why am I in so many Discords? Where's TPT at? TPT. That's Edison. Oh, here it is. Found it. Not much is going on, I would say. Tournament questions, announcements. Where's the tournament announcements? What's going on? The tournament ended? Top 8 is out. I mean, standing side. They didn't start yet. Okay. I was like, what's going on here? Gotta act like you've been there before. Allegedly, he has. Does that work though? Can someone message me and let me know when the next match starts? Because I have no idea what's going on. There seems to be no matchups going on. They'll release pairings in a few minutes. Okay, thank you, Hellfire. Sorry, I'm like out of the loop. There's no they shut off access to my permission to see the standings. Maybe I could check it on again. Direct message. Oh, I'm able to see it now. Never mind. The issue is that there's private information. Top cut. Here we go. So we have the top cut here. We don't know who's against who, but there's 4 of them. So we're already in the top 8. So it's a one-day event after all. That was fast. So it looks like we got some riveting Sky Striker plays here. We have Brain Kids being able to link summon into this. I don't want to watch this. I played a whole format of that. I'm not watching that again. Yeah, I guess we're just going to have to stall out a little. We watch some Edison format? No. That looks crazy. If the card goes in a horizontal position and they set it face down, you see the sleeve in horizontal position. That's kind of cool. Bum, bada, bum, 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 bum. Yeah, the innovations of YCS in back in the day is much different than it is now. Especially now with Chaos Catset being in the mix now. That wasn't an invention. I don't think it was an invention back in the day for Tengu Plant. So people are starting to see how good certain cards are in particular matchups. And I think he was playing like, was he playing like a traditional Billy Break style list with two Thunder King and everything? I think so. Yeah, because the chaos list has been doing a lot, doing really well lately in today's format. Because I don't know, I guess people just learn how to play better now too. On top of that, and then BLS coming down in a lot of games, typically means it's over for the most part. So Megalo's gonna come down here, and then we're gonna stare down a Duplock. This is like Paleozoic format. I'm not sure what format this was exactly, because Paleos was like good for like a lot of formats. And so Megalo can attack over the Dupe Frog here and attack over the. Well, if he has attributed a Mermail monsters to attack twice. If summoned this way, you can add. You can tribute one other attack position water monster. So it looks like Olan's going to admit defeat here. And now we're going to go into games 2 in Paleozoic format. I don't know what format this is. It's always a strange world because Dueling Book is like a conglomerate of like different formats. So it's always kind of weird to see like what people are playing. People even play speed duels on here too, which is kind of funny. How far are you still in the tournament? I guess I never asked. I guess you'll have to wait until the pairings get caught up, right? Because there's a chance that you might make top cut with the X1 record you have. I think you have an X1 record, right? So let's see what this format is up to, because it seems interesting already. I generally like water decks, and then if they have archetypes for water, I generally like to play those formats. So it looks like he's going to discard a Dragoon and Neptibus to special summon Megalo. This is going to trigger 3 chain links right away. Megalo's going to be chain link 3, I believe, because of the chain links. And Neptibus is going to special summon the Dragoons, and Dragoon's going to search for a Sea Serpent. Any Sea Serpent he wants. So that's always kind of nice to do. So a Dragoon could go into Dweller. Dweller's pretty good in most formats, especially this one, I think, because of Mermails being a thing. So I imagine this is a good format. And Mermails has been good for like ever. It's been good in like several different formats. So yeah, where is everyone? I'm starting to think the same thing. I don't know what happened. I guess they're just doing the pairings. So once the pairings are done, we can actually see what the top 8 finished. So we're waiting for top 8 to collect. But in the meantime, we're just hanging out in this particular room here to watch like a bunch of specific format play out. I'm not sure what format it is, but it seems interesting to me. Dweller is Pog and Clown format. Yeah, it might be. I agree. It might be. So he's going to go into Deep Sea Diva into the infantry, and then it's going to allow us to go into level 4. Is there a level 4 water monster? Oh, wow. Never mind. They're just playing like modern because this card didn't come out until way later. So he's going to go into Dweller, Bahamut Shark. I don't know. I think this is modern format. I honestly thought this was not modern format, but this is definitely modern format because this card didn't come out until way later. So yeah, we're just going to skip down on that. I thought it was like an older format of Paleozoics, but it's not. Lane Murphy. That sounds familiar. Top cut has started. Perfect. Thank you so much, Anon. So we're gonna have to find the top cut. We just got to find the rooms basically, and then we'll be able to square off. And top cut here is pillage, Jaden Yugi. Oh no, so Peru Pillord. Okay, so I just gotta find these numbers. Pillords. Yeah, 5 minutes ago. Thank you. So we're gonna watch Pillord versus Roger Smith. Roger Smith is gonna be on Agents as his pet deck. He loves that deck. So let's see what happens here. He's going to go enemy controller. He's going to go Lance to protect the Cyber Dragon. So now he has to find a way to get rid of the Cyber Dragon. He's going to special summon the Chaos Sorcerer, which is a monster he can use. He has to banish the Light Monster, which is Earth. And that means he shuts off his Hyperion line here if he decides to do that. Now, Roger Smith's turn again. He can actually normal summon the Venus now, and the Venus is going to be able to clear most things. Okay. So Gachi is pretty standard play so far, but the Chaos Sorcerer was not standard. So he's going to do a main phase 1 Venus Shine Ball play where he goes into Gachi here. And then the Gachi will be able to make the Venus go up to 2,000 attack points, which is really nice. Going to the battle phase, he's going to swing direct for 2,000. And that's going to allow Pillord to go down to 5,033 life points, which is a really strange number. It must be buzzing out because if we see the logs here, he only took 10,000 life points. So he's going to activate Duality here. It doesn't look like any of those cards out of the Duality is going to help him except for the Deep Prison. And since he can't special summon, he can't choose a Cyber Dragon. So it has to be Deep Prison. But knowing if it's Deep Prison, it's going to be kind of scary for... it's going to be scary for him to to deal with a Hyperion, maybe. He's actually going to get the Cyber Dragon. Okay. So hoping that nobody cheats here. Maybe he's going to activate Mind. No, there's no way you can steal this. Break Control's not in this format. So not sure what he's trying to get. He's up to right here. And then we're going to go into games 2. Looks like Pillar just didn't open up too well against Roger Smith. Roger Smith is probably the only agent player left, if I am not mistaken. So he could win another Tengumania, or not another Tengumania, but he could put another agent win on the map. As I postulated, this deck would be one of the best in Tengu Plan format. So for this particular matchup, I don't know what I would side personally for the agent matchup, except for Blackhorn Heaven, because let's see. Yeah, we'll find out. It should be a pretty easy side deck for this. Missed top 8 by a little bit. Good luck to everyone in the top cut. Yeah, sorry about that, Team VIR. I don't know what place you got exactly. Maybe you got 9th place or 10th place, but it always feels bad to be on the bubble. For sure. Yeah. Good thing I'm not on Discord. Otherwise, you guys can hear everything. Oh, they're taking a while side decking. Isn't there like a 3-minute time limit? I think it is. So he's going to start off with a duality here, and that's going to add him one of the cards that he might need against agents. It looks like it's going to go to a Fossil Dyna here. Fossil Dyna would be able to be normal summons so that he could block off most of the normal summons. But agents have like so many ways to deal with Fossil Dyna, especially in the post board. Because I think they anticipate like floodgate monsters for the most part. Venus, three Venus is an out to this. What's another out to this? Dark Hole, Smashing Ground. You name it. We'll see what happens. Or it could be that this one Fossil Dyna is going to stop everything. He saw 2 side deck cards off the duality, so that's going to help him a lot. So it is a top 8 matchup, so that means this, tensions are going to be a lot more. than a normal and Swiss. He's going to normal summon the Earth here, so he's probably going to do some plays here with Earth. But I can't imagine Mind Control's not going to do anything here. So it looks like he's just simply using the Earth here to thin out his deck so he can see the Venus. That would be my guess. This is what's going to happen here. So Jupiter is another out to the Falsodina. So it looks like he's trying to get all the outs out of his deck as possible so that he can see his outs. Duality doesn't seem to be using much here. Yeah, because Duality is typically played in Agents. So if he had Duality here, he would have been able to see a different card. Now he has to kind of walk into a Honest here. If he does have Honest, he can out the Falsodina before in damage calculation. Honest is only at 1 in this format, so not sure if Roger Smith wants to bluff out the Honest here before the damage step. Yep, so he does have the Honest here to deal with the Falsodina. So it made sense that he would wait for him to attack first. So maybe he should have attacked with Thunder King Ryle first into the Earth, but Thunder King Ryle still outs a lot of different monsters. Main phase 2, he's going to activate the Reborn here to revive the Falsodina, as Roger Smith had issues dealing with it in the beginning, so it would make sense that he would revive this back. But let's see. So now he has the Earth, no, not the Earth, the Jupiter to be able to walk over the Falsodina, but the Jupiter needs a monster to run over the Thunder King Ryle. So this seems like a set 4 back row. Seems to go to the stun component really well here. And then Venus is going to get deprisoned. Yeah, this seems pretty bad, but now the Honest is out, so it makes sense for him to put Earth to defense position here. MST in the end phase. Oh, man. So it looks like Roger Smith has Drew is out, but the MST does clear the Heavy Storm, or the Mirror Force here. So now he's going to be able to rip a card out of his hand, and Spirit Reaper, this is basically Chaos Stun at this point. So 6 cards, so he's going to reroll here. He's going to, what is he going to do? He discarded a, oh, he heralded. Okay. So it looks like he's going to herald the, yeah, he's going to herald the Spirit Reaper here on the damage step so that he can destroy the Spirit Reaper. He still has the Jupiter, so he can normal summon the Jupiter and then walk over the Thunder King Ryo. Hopefully the MSC is going to hit a defensive back row. He is able to hit a Lance. That is actually really useful if he does attack the Thunder King Ryo. But the other set, we don't know what it is. Do we know that he had a D-Prison off the Duality. So this can't be the Leeching the Light that he set. So it did look. Unfortunately, the Deep Prison is met the Jupiter. So now Roger Smith has his top deck into a Venus, walk over the Dyna, and then main phase 2 go into Gachi Gachi. But unfortunately, he was now unable to draw the Dyna needed. Okay, so starting in games 2, let's see. So games 3 now. So we're in games 3 now. Roger Smith has to draw or side deck into a cards that out Falsodina. I'm not sure if he side decks Smashing Ground, but he did side deck Mirror Force, but that got MST'd. Um, and I know that I think what Pillord kept the MST in against agents because they know that agents do side deck Royal Decree in that matchup. So they need a way to out the Royal Decree so they can protect their stun strategy essentially. That's why Pillord kept the MST. So Roger Smith's going to go first here. He's going to normal summon the Earth here so that it goes pretty much unhindered. If the duality comes down here, he could use it to search for top 3. And searching the Honest would be the correct play here, I think, for the most part. In the event that he is able to, well, I don't know. The Tour Guide is also a good normal summon as well. But I think it's going to be Honest here to protect the Earth so that he can normal summon the Venus and then make the Trish play. There's a lot of different plays he can do. He only really has 3 outs now. Yeah, for sure. So now he's going to set a back row after choosing the... did he choose a Tour Guide or the Honest? I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, so he's going to MSC the back row. Let's see what the back row is. It could be Decree. Yeah, it is Decree. So now the back rows are all safe. The Sangan going into the Earth makes sense because even if he Honest is here, he could essentially get a +1 because the Sangan does trade into the Honest for free. So Sangan's going to be able to search. He could search for a False Dyna or a Tour Guide, yeah. So he's on some sort of Chaos stun deck, playing the Thunder King Ryo, as well as a lot of back rows. So he's going to summon the Venus now. He could put all the balls in attack mode to play around the Gores so that the Gores has like less the Gores token has less attack than the Venus. I think that's what he's gonna do. He could also, yeah, because this puts four fairies total between the Earth and the 2 Mystic Shine Balls. So I'm guessing Roger Smith also has a Christie in hand as well, to be able to play after in the event that Pillord is able to drop Gores here. So Smith does what I think he does, and then in May Phase 2, he's going to overlay into Gachi Gachi, and that's going to bring Venus up to 2,000 attack here. So a Tour Guide summon would be able to go into the second Tour Guide because Sangan's in the graveyard. So, he's going to use the effect of Venus again to bring out the Shine Ball. So if he makes a Leviathan Dragon, he can run over the Venus, and if we know that he has Honest in hand rather than the Tour Guide, I'm guessing that the Leviathan Dragon gets checked by the Honest here. Let's see what Pillor is going to be up to here in games 3. He has a lot of cards in hand, so he definitely has some answers for sure. There's no way he doesn't have any answers. So there was a misclick of some sort. I didn't catch it. So Thunder King Rao is going to come down here, but he has less attack than the Venus. This is why I actually don't like bringing out the third Shine Ball, because even though you could theoretically draw the third one, you just give another attack target to your opponent to basically get back at you, basically. So he's going to set some back row here. This could mean that he has Lance or Deep Prison set. So he's going to have to find a way to circumvent that without using a back row. There is Heavy Storm, so it could telegraph that he has Solemn Judgment set. And if he does have a Solemn Judgment set, then Hyperion... Well, Hyperion gets checked by the Ryo here. And so does Christia. So This is why I like tribute summoning Hyperion, because if he kept the third Shine Ball in the deck, he could bring it out and then tribute for Hyperion as opposed to special summoning it. So now it's gonna be main phase 1 here. What is Roger Smith gonna do? He could summon a tuner, Herald of Orange Light, but Venus is already bigger than Thunder King Ryo, so he could go in straight into battle phase, attack over the Thunder King, and then bait out anything that might stop him. So he's gonna summon the Jupiter here, walking into a potential torrential. If he torrentials here, Gachi Gachi saves himself, and then that's 3 fairies. So from there, he could special summon Hyperion and then special summon Christia if he torrentials here. So he's going to go straight up into the Hyperion. Maybe baiting out Roger Smith into a torrential play, potentially. So he's going to banish the... Oh, no, he didn't banish for Hyperion. He just used it for Jupiter. My bad. So now the Jupiter gets banished. The question is, does he attack? Yes, he does attack. And he's going to Boca Moon the Gachi Gachi. Wow, okay. So he was able to play around both the plays that he was able to make here. So Venus does crash here and he's going to take 300. Tragodia could come down here after that because he did take battle damage. And then he could use Tragodia attack over the Thunder King, or he can go main phase 2 to steal the Tragodia. So Honest is another one too. We did see him add Honest off the duality, from my understanding of it. Okay. So he does use Honest here to clear the Thunder King Ryo. So Gachi Gachi, since he didn't switch battle position, Roger Smith is going to flip it into attack position. And then this means that it's vulnerable to attacks since it only has 900 attack. So a tour guide here could double beat over the Gachi, but a Chaos Sorcerer is most likely to come down unless it's a BLS. It is a BLS, so it looks like BLS is going to come down here. He could use the effect of BLS here to banish, but he can also attack over stuff. Since there's an Earth in the grave, no, he doesn't have an Earth. So to play around the Hyperion, he might have to banish the Venus first. So yeah. So summoning the Falsodina seems good here. This means that BLS could attack over both and then not have to worry about Hyperion. Unless Roger Smith plays like a tribute summon to deal with this board, he's pretty much on the back foot almost, right? Because now he can't even bring out Tragodia to special summon under Falsodina, and he can't clear the BLS. So he's going to need something like Econ to steal the BLS, or mind control of some sort to out stuff. I think that's his out to this situation. Yeah, so it does look like he attacks over the Venus here. So that puts 5 fairies in his graveyard. Gachi in attack mode, which means he can use Econ to steal. Some agent lists do play Econ, but I don't think Roger Smith's a big fan of this particular list of playing Econ. Yeah, I don't know what his else could be here. Unless, even if he drew Tragodia, it wouldn't matter. He still needs to attack over the Falsodina. He already used up 2 of his normal summons that run over his Falsodina. So this is a pretty tough position, especially since this is game 3. Someone tell Pillor to fix his life points. No, it's actually a glitch in the system. If you look at the history, Mister Joaquin, his history is actually all correct. He did take 2100 and 500, but and if you look at the history, he never really took, you know, single digit life points. So it is definitely a glitch in the system for sure. No, it's not a lag. It's definitely a DB thing. You know how Dueling Book is. So he's gonna search for the Herald of Orange Light here after Dark Holing. So the Dark Hole was able to trade. Now he has to bring us a BLS. I guess he needed a Dark Monster for the BLS. That's why he Dark Hold. But that also puts 4 fairies. So if he does have Christie here, it's gonna be lethal. This is also already lethal. It is as it is. But the Deep Prison is gonna meet the BLS here. So now there's no dark in the graveyard, so Pillar can't bring out a special. Oh, he does have a dark monster. He looks like he just drew into one, which is nice. Okay, so he just sets a back row, summons a tour guide. He got Herald, so now no dark and light in the grave. Oh, there's a dark and light in the graveyard, so there's a really good chance that he might see a Chaos Sorcerer. But Smith, I think he sees a decree here, so he could use the decree to do a following push, or he can also flip it as a trap card that he can use too as well. Like Treacherous Trap Hole. That could be another card too. But Treacherous Trap Hole is not so good in this situation because Chaos Monsters can just bring out like one Chaos Monster, and then having only one Chaos Monster means that Treacherous Trap Hole can't target it only basically. So he draws into a Dark Bribe here. If he wants to flip over the Decree, he would have to do it now. Otherwise, Dark Bribe negates the Royal Decree when its turn starts. So it doesn't look like he has it, honestly. So he finally sees a Venus here. The Venus could clear uh, a lot of his life points for sure. So taking 1600, looks like Pillar is on the back foot here. Summoning a Fossil Dyna, but it looks like he might have a Lance. Oh, he's going to Leeching the Light. Okay. So this is going to make him take 1200 damage. So the Leeching Light actually does some damage here. So it looks like he sets a monster to the spell or to the monster zone. Fossil Dyna could I don't know how much life points he has. But if he attacks and that card is not a shine ball, he could walk into a. Well, it can't be an honest, that's for sure. Yeah, it looks like it was just a Herald of Orange Light. But what happened to the second monster? So he's going to Heavy Storm here. It was a Starlight Road. So now he's going to special summon Gores, but Gores can't do anything. Oh, unfortunate. So it looks like Roger Smith has to lose. Falso Down actually puts in a lot of work against Agents, and it looks like Agents will be winning this particular tournament. So we tried. We had the Agent Dream, but we lost it in the end. Unfortunate. I'm going to save this replay, actually, for research purposes. We're going to get out of here. Is there one more match going on? It was top 8, so there should be 4 different matchups, right? So let's look up here. We have Yeon and Tia. Yeon and Tia. Who is that? Yeah, it looks like all the. Oh, this is custom cards. Yeon and Tia. Simply Yu-Gi-Oh still playing. Don't think this is part of the tournament though. Well, it could be. It actually could be. So in a commanding position for sure. The Nordic seems to be pretty good here for the player on the Perudi. I don't know how to say his name. Mind Control is going to be here. So Mind Control on a Scrap Dragon is really deadly. So he could use it to clear the Scrap Dragon itself and then target the Levier. Tour Guide, I think he already normal summoned the Tour Guide. And I think it was met with a Veiler. That would explain why Tour Guide is just left in there in attack position. So yeah. So now the Tour Guide has to find a way to deal with the Tengu. I think that's what's going to happen. Summoning the Chaos Sorcerer, he's going to make a play here. So he was able to banish the last Tengu, and then with the Shine Ball, this is a really cool list, by the way. It still plays the Plant Engine as long as the Cloudian, so we can definitely see a really good list coming up for Tyler's video, because this deck was able to top 8, I think, if we're looking at it. Let's see. If I look at the brackets here, did Simply Zerg make it? Yeah, he did. So Cloudian Plants was able to top 8 this event, which is really cool. And then we have Roger Smith being the only agent player and actually losing in the first round of top 8. So that feels pretty bad. Yeah, it's a really sick deck for sure, Alfar. Definitely going to give some views to Mr. Tyler here. as he is going to be the Tengu plant guy, and he's going to be able to share that list. Hopefully, he's able to do it with his busy schedule that he's been having lately with League of Legends. We all know that League of Legends takes priority over the Tengu plant community for him, so we're gonna rely on other people who are enthusiastic about Tengu plant to basically broadcast this format for other people. Tyler can't be the one-man army, so we'll have to assist him in ways that others cannot. Yeah, it looks like we do have 8 different top deck lists. So, actually, I think Chaos Cat Sith had 2 of them. Let me check. I'm not entirely sure. So we had Tengu Cat Sith, and we had Cat Sith Nordic, and then Chaos Control. I mean, those are all Chaos decks, so that's how I see it. Even Agents, sometimes I consider it a Chaos list because they play Chaos Sorcerer and stuff, and Tragodia and stuff. So that's top 8 breakdown for you guys. But yeah, pretty much it. So the average is going to be played here to recycle out the cards. So yeah. So tour guide into tour guide. He could go into Levier, but the Levier doesn't really get him anything. He could go into Cat Sith and somehow get the Cat Sith back to his hand to deal with this board. But the Scrap Dragon is pretty scary. So Reborn's going to come down here. He could steal the Sorcerer to banish the... Yeah, to banish the Scrap Dragon. Go into Levier, detach to get Cat Sith from his graveyard or from his banished, and then Synchro Summon into Arcanine Magician. That's a play he could do. He could also go Leviathan Dragon too, for damage purposes, as opposed to Synchro Summoning. Let's see what he does. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go to Levier, detach, and then he gets the Cat Sith, right? I'm assuming it's Cat Sith. Unless he hasn't used all his Tengu yet. He's used 1 Tengu, 2 Tengu. So the last card in his hand could be a Tengu in his hand. So it's probably better to get the Cat Sith. I mean, he could steal one of his Thunder King Ryo. I mean, Formula Synchron's it out too. But that puts a light monster back in his graveyard. But he does have a dark. But he will have a dark. So this gives him a light fodder. I don't know if I agree with this play. Oh, that was his dark monster anyways. And he's going to make a Stardust? I don't know about that. I don't know about the Stardust. Yeah, I don't know about the Stardust because, oh, I guess he does have BLS. But Stardust doesn't negate warning. Unless, I mean, he could have used warning earlier on the Monster Reborn. So this presents lethal if he doesn't have anything. It is a heavy storm. Okay, so it was a pro storm. So it looks like Cloudians was unable to push through the top 8. So we are going to have Chaos Control, I want to say. No, Chaos Nordics going into the top 4 bracket. So Chaos Nordics, and I believe it was the matchup we watched before. Who was the winner of that one? I think it was... Yeah, it was Chaos Control, yeah. So it was Chaos Control and Chaos Cat Sith Nordic. So it comes down to... Oh, even Mist Valley's in the tournament too. So a lot of diversity for sure. So we have Mist Valley versus Tengu Cat Sith Plant. So, and then TGs. Let's see. I'm going to save this replay as well. I'm going to pause everything so we don't have to drain so much CPU. Let's get out of here. Okay, so that was all the matchups, I believe, unless there's still... I'm guessing the TGs is still playing. I'm certain of that. Betchy. His name is Betchy. So we go to Dueling Book. Let's see if we can find that guy. On Unlim. Nope. I guess TG actually finished up. So good for them for speeding it up. Yeah, you want to be a fast a TG player anyways, because you don't want to lose the time because of the life points thing. Because you're paying life points for skill drain, and you don't want to be behind because of that. Okay, so we're going to just wait around, wait for the next round to start, unless there's another matchup. There's also Yvonne HST. So I don't know who that is. Yvonne HST. Yeah, there's nobody who's still playing. So yeah, is how far are you in the are you in the chat right now? Do you know if any of the top 8 players are still playing? If you guys can get back to me that, because I'm checking the names here. The names don't match up to anything. Yeah, there's no names here that are familiar to me. Top 4 starts now. Okay, so it looks like top 8 already wrapped up. Don't know who won between the TG matchup versus Plants, I believe it was, or Miss Valley. I'm sorry. No, it wasn't Miss Valley. So TG and Plants, and then Miss Valley versus Catstith Plant, Tangu Catstith Plant. So we're just gonna have to wait for the match to start. Yeah, I don't see anybody who's still playing or just queued up the game. Here we go. So Tia and Paradukes. So let's see. So Jaden Yuki was on. I forgot what it was. He's playing Plants versus Classic Nordics. Okay. God dang. So many tabs. I'm just gonna close them. It's on the history. Okay. So top 4 starts now. Let's see what's gonna happen. So it looks like Jaden Yuki is gonna be going first, or Tia, for short. So let's see what they are gonna do. Normal summon tour guide, pretty standard play for opening. Most likely gonna be into Sangan or Kushano, detaching for a Leviathan Dragon, and then a set card to pass the turn over. Oh, he's gonna pass turn with 1 set. Okay, so Tengu's gonna come down here to lay down the smackdown on the tour guide. And if Tia has a warning, they're gonna have to use it now. But again, as I said before, Tengu, warning a Tengu feels pretty bad because they could have multiple copies. But we kind of want to assume the worst. So I don't know if it was correct to warning the Tengu here. Maybe Tia's hand's pretty slow and he can't deal with the Tengu afterwards. I'm not too sure. Okay, so MSC is going to come down here, targeting the back row. It is a warning. I think they want to resolve Sangan as much as possible. So Spear Reaper's going to come down here to rip a card out of Paradu's hand. And let's see what they held in the hand. It could be a Gores, but Gores would have to be Chain Link 2 here. That'd be funny if it was a Tengu in his hand. They rip a Tengu. It's a Kushano. Oh, that's the worst discard ever. So by discarding the Kushano means that he can discard it later on for Cat Sith. But there's really no good targets here for Cat Sith to pop. I mean, he could pop the Spirit Reaper, but that doesn't really do anything. Okay, so we're gonna set a back row here and pass. That's gonna pass the turnover to Peridou. And so with 4 cards to Tia's 6 cards, Peridou is behind by 2 cards. He's going to normal summon the Tengu. We are not sure if Peridou had the Tengu in his hand prior to the warning, the second Tengu. All we know is that he drew for turn, shuffled his hand, and then summoned the Tengu. So good on him to shuffle his hand before summoning the Tengu here, because now it's a mystery to everyone. So he could still overlay here for a monster. The Tengu here could crash into the Tengu here, and then that gets him the 3rd Tengu, and then he can just use his 2nd Tengu to clear the 3rd Tengu. And then he's going to be able to attack directly with Spirit Reaper. Ooh, a Mirror Force. Mirror Force doesn't feel too good. It only really hits the Spirit Reaper. So Sangan's going to be able to resolve its effect. And then Tengu's going to... The 2nd Tengu is going to trade with his 2nd Tengu. So if he wants to run through all the Tengus, he's going to have to attack, use up all his Tengus basically. GG's. How did I get first? All right, so yeah, it looks like he's going to go for that plan where he wastes all his Tengus out. So now it's going to go down to the 3rd Tengu. The 3rd Tengu is going to trade with the 3rd Tengu, and then, yeah. Unless he has Avarice, this doesn't feel like a good play. So main phase 2 Avarice, essentially. Ooh, he drew the 3rd Tengu. So Tia was the one that had the 3rd Tengu in their hand. So we know one of the cards in Tia's hand is going to be a Reborn Tengu because there's only 2 in the graveyard. So there is 0 light monsters and how many dark monsters? So only 3 dark monsters in the graveyard. So I don't know if Tia does play Dark Arm, but most likely they don't. Most people don't play Dark Arm in their list in Tengu Plant format. But a Dark Arm Rip would be really good. So this Tengu can actually crash. So basically Tia had to waste his normal summon to clear the 3rd Tengu here. No Avarice in sight to be able to recover. Tia was up like 2 cards. Now Tia's behind by like, well, they're even now, but they basically had to go -2 throughout the course of the game here. So normal summoning the Nordic. Oh yeah, because he's playing Nordics, there's a chance that Peridou did draw like a bunch of Nordics that wasn't able to trigger. So 16 direct. Wait, why did they take 17? That's not right. Well, did he not go to battle phase and attack? What's going on over here? Oh, I'm saying I think he says, oh my god, I'm so bad because he probably had the level 3 goat in his hand to special summon after Tia crashed into Tengu into the monster. That's what I'm guessing. Because if he did that, he would have been able to switch the goat to attack position and then go into a level 7. But now he's kind of forced to do this play right here where he normal summons the goat or the horse in order to do 1600 damage. But this puts him under Solemn Warning, so he doesn't have to worry about the Solemn Warning. Only one Solemn Warning's been used, so the second Solemn Warning is going to be dead for this particular matchup. Okay, so Tia's going to set a card to his monster zone and passes the turn. So not much going on right now. Looks like they're just trying to find their cards at this point. It seems to be a waiting game between who can draw their outs first. Peridou could discard the Casted to get the Kushano, but the Kushano is a tuner, and so is this horse is a tuner. So most likely, it's what's best here is to summon a non-tuner. I'm guessing he has the goat in hand. He could synchro summon into a level 7 here. And Tia would have to have like, I don't know what Tia would set in this particular deck. It plays like, this is Tengu Plant, right? I'm pretty sure this is Tengu Plant. So this could be a Dandelion set. Could also be a Spore and a Glow Bulb. So if they summon a second monster to attack a token and the Dandelion, and main phase 2 synchro summon, that would be okay play, but I don't really like that play either. If Peridou has another horse in the deck, he could special summon the goat when this gets destroyed by battle. But it looks like he drew 2 of these copies now, so it doesn't look like the goat actually has a target now. So he's gonna activate the Reborn here. A lot of good targets I'm sure they can choose. Choosing the Tengu here, he can go into a, I don't know, this plays into the Dandelion a little bit too hard, especially if they go into Scrap Dragon and try to pop the face down. Stardust doesn't feel too good either. So I think it's going to come down to whether or not that face down is anything to be worried about. This feels really bad. If he has to Scrap Dragon effect to destroy it, and it's a Dandelion, this plays so hard into that. I don't agree with this play at all. Yeah, this is I knew it was a Dandelion. I don't know why that was the play. Should have summoned a monster, attack tech, and then make a level 8 synchro. This also plays really hard in the Debris Dragon too. Mind Control as well. Actually, no, not Mind Control. There's just so many outs. So Tour Guide is going to go into, not Leviathan Dragon with a Lance would clear the Scrap Dragon here. T is an incredible player, TBS. Yes, I can start to see that for sure. Kind of curious what the remaining cards are in the hand are. So Leviathan Dragon here is going to come down as I've postulated, and most likely it's going to be a Lance that attacks over the Scrap Dragon. Or Econ, yeah, that works too. Hang on. Yeah, Tia missed lethal, right? Because they could have attributed the token to steal the Scrap Dragon, and then attack for game. So unless Peridou had like a Necro Gardener in graveyard, I don't see. He definitely should have activated the Econ, attributing the Scapegoat token and then taking the Scrap Dragon. But I guess this is fine. But now the tour guide's gonna run over the token, and then now we're gonna have to. He's gonna have to hope and pray that they draw another monster to attack for game. Because on here I see that he has 2,000 life points. So yeah, didn't draw another monster. So missing lethal was actually punish. It feels like a big punish. All right, so he's gonna set into the back row here, and then they're gonna pass. Peridou's gonna set into the back row. It's gonna be a draw pass until something happens. But it looks like Peridou is now at 4,225. So I don't know what the life points are. It's so screwy. But even if he did take the Scrap Dragon, I don't think it would have been lethal. So that's probably why they didn't do Econ to steal the monster. Yeah, it's just weird because we're seeing them have low life points, but when they lose life points, they gain life points. It's so strange. DB's on like some sort of like strange thing going on here. Taking Scrap Dragon would be wrong because yeah, you would need to give it back in the end phase. Yeah, I mean you would have to give it back in the end phase if their life points wasn't at 0 at the end of the battle phase. So Reborn's going to come down. Yep. And despite the fact that I don't think that was a misplay. Maybe it was a life points thing. So yeah, looks like Tia just did everything correct according to the plan here. So yeah, we're gonna go into games. Games 2. Okay, so it's gonna be plants versus whatever Peridou's playing, like a Tengu Nordic plant deck. So I don't know what plants side against each other, generally speaking, but I am thinking it's gonna be like Maxi sided deck, um, and then that's gonna allow them to draw a lot of cards, basically to basically beat out the mirror match. Thunder King Ryle is probably gonna be kept in the side deck as well, or gonna be sideboarded in, because it stops a lot of synchro monsters. So yeah. Then it can write outs like tour guide summons. It outs Tengu in attack position or defense too. Um, Probably I think what they could do is side deck more econs where they can steal each other's Tengu and overlay for Utopia, so that turns off the Tengu line. So if you summon Tengu and then you activate enemy controller to steal the other monster, that's level 4. You can overlay. That's another plan they can go for in the mirror match. Although he is playing the Nordic stuff, so the Nordic stuff actually puts a little bit of a damper to the strategy, I would say. But being able to access a level 7 at will sounds pretty nice, because you can make H take a waiver, and if the life points disparity or the differential is like where you're higher, H take a waiver could spell it lethal, especially if you have a BLS to follow up with that. So that's one way you can actually go for lethal if you do play the Nordic line. Whereas if you played the Tango line, you have to go into Ancient Sacred Wyvern using Formula Synchron with a level 5. So maybe Cyber Dragon's going to come down in the games too. But Cyber Dragon actually makes Nordic really good, because if the Tango Plant player special summons Cyber Dragon and attacks over a monster, they could special summon the goat, and then the goat's going to be able to shift to attack position and go into an instant Black Rose. So I don't know. Looks like Peridou's going to start off the turn here because he did lose the first game with a Tengu, Reborn Tengu in attack mode with the set. The set card is most likely going to be like a warning or an MST. So Tour Guide's going to come down here to beat over the first Tengu. Yep, Maxi was dropped in the mirror match, so that's going to turn into a Sangan pass. Although this looks like it's going to be Do you overlay here? I don't think you overlay here, right? This it's not enough pressure to be worried about. And also the life points is really screwed up. Peridou is actually at 8,000, not at 1742. So DB's doing DB things. So he's gonna pass here without doing anything, setting a back row. Not really worried about any sort of monster that can come out. I mean, he could summon a Thunder King Ryo to punish the Sangan here, but that walks into a torrential, bottomless, econ even. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough to say what's. This is like a war of attrition essentially. So tour guide's gonna summon here. Does Tia have a Veiler or a Maxi to counter the tour guide here, or even a warning set? It is gonna be a Veiler, so that puts a light monster in his graveyard, which means that the chaos monsters are enabled if he does attack overall as a monster. And I don't think you should summon. I don't think you attack the tour guide into the Sangan because you don't want him to have a main phase 1 search or a main phase 1 card that they can search for versus a main phase 2 card that they can search for. If that makes any sense. Yeah, because if he summons tour guide here and attacks into the Sangan, that means that he gets to search first and then he could summon Lone Fire essentially on main phase 1 versus now he has to crash the Sangan or get rid of the Sangan somehow in order to get the search. Dark Hole doesn't seem too good here. Synchro summoning is illegal with the Sangan, so I'm not sure what he can do here other than just to crash the Sangan into the tour guide for a +1. The Chaos monsters are alive here, so there's a Dark monster and a Light monster. But I don't know. I don't think you should play an early. I don't think you should play an early Chaos monster right now because the game state isn't gotten to the point where you can go lethal. It's a lot of setting up basically. So Sangan is going to search here. He did normal summon a Tengu here. So if he does search for a Lone Fire, he can't do the Wombo combo that you would normally see in this deck, even if he does search for it. Opting to search for the Dandelion is interesting here because he could have searched for a Maxi and then crash all his Tengu and then draw a bunch of cards. But it looks like he already had it. So on the attack declaration or the before the damage step, he's going to activate the Maxi. And then now that Peridou's forced to special summon all the Tengus as Chain Link 2, that means he has to decide on a position of the Tengu first before Tia does. And since, so it looks like Tia's just going to have to draw first because Maxi is a immediate effect as opposed to a Chain Link effect. So I would rule this as Tia draws first before he special summons a Tengu, a Reborn Tengu. Yeah, because it's in the middle of the chain. So as the chain is resolving, you're supposed to draw with the Maxi first. So this actually presents kind of an interesting scenario because if you had the Maxi in your hand and you're trying to crash all your Tengus in, that would mean that you have a potential to draw the second Tengu before you can special summon the other copies of it. And that creates kind of a weird scenario. I think it's always correct to do that, though. Even though it doesn't feel right. Because there's a potential they can draw. Because right now, like, Peridou can special summon his Tengu. And then Tia can draw draw right now immediately off the Maxi. And then theoretically draw into the Tengu. But it looks like Tia didn't draw it. So, good for them. So, we're going to go through all the Tengus. So, this is going to be trading all the Tengus out of the deck so that it can't get any more. So, 1-for-1's going to come down here, discarding the Dandelion. Since they didn't activate Maxi in response to Tia's Maxi, it means that this 1-for-1 is pretty safe for the most part. So Formula Stinger is going to come down here and drawing a card. And then they could banish for Dandelion to go into Hyper Librarian. Despite all the pluses that Tia was able to get, doesn't seem like she's too far ahead of Peridot. Because if they synchro summon into a level 5 here, that leaves Tia with a 6-card board to Peridot's 6-card eventually. So this doesn't feel too good. So it looks like the trend's just going to come down here. And, oh, Chain Roll Decree. Okay, so the Decree was cited in the mirror match. Okay. That I didn't expect. I definitely didn't expect Decree to come down in the mirror match. Well, it's not technically a mirror match, but it's kind of a mirror match. So Peridot, I think he has a Dark and Light in the graveyard as well. Let me see here. No, he only has a Dark. So he doesn't have to worry about BLS. And even if BLS does come down, Formula Sangron could go into a Black Rose, but that's Chain Link 2, and that would make Black Rose miss timing. So my control is going to take the Formula Synchron here, and if he Chain Link 2, Black Rose won't be able to blow up the field, but you don't want that to happen. So T is going to go into an Ancient Fairy Dragon defense mode. And let's see what else is happening here. Now they have to run over 3,000 defense. That's really high, by the way. It's a really high defense. And Peridot is going to set back row even though there's a Decree on the board, which tells me that Peridot might have an MST set with a trap card that could like interrupt with the play. Okay, so T is going to draw for turn now. And best play they can do is probably summon a Debris Dragon into a Dandelion, but there's no level 3 monster they can bring out because Dandelion is now banished. And then Torrential is already used already, so they can't do a Torrential Chain MST to destroy the Decree. Attacking with the special summon monster first. Yep, so it was a Mirror Force Chain MST play. And so that's going to clear out 2 for 3. And even though he got a 2 for 3, Tia still has a higher advantage over Peridot does. This is game 3, right? Wait, this doesn't work. If he flip summons, yeah, this has to be changed from face up. When this card defense, yeah, when this defense position monster is changed to face up attack. I don't know if that works. We're gonna need to find a judge to confirm that. When it's changed from defense to attack, but it was face down, so we don't know the card itself. Who cares? So he's gonna Synchro Summon into Ancient Sacred Wyvern. We don't know the life point differentials because of the strange life point gain. Let's see. We can just backtrack. He's gonna normal summon Gushano here. Tia took 700. Yeah, so Peridot should have 8,000 life points by the looks of it. Peridot declared effect. Yeah, so it doesn't look. It looks like Peridot's at 8,000 life points, despite what this says on the screen. And so 1,100 and 700 that Tia took. So that's 1,800 attack, 1,800 life points. So they're gonna go down to. Oh wow! So he dropped the big gores. Okay. Ancient Sacred Wyvern does have an effect here to pay 1,000 to bring it back in any position after it gets destroyed. So Tia's gonna have to find a way to make a synchro monster like Scrap Dragon. The only level 1s are gonna be Effect Veiler and Glow Bulb to normal summon with the gores here. So this thing is huge. So we have one back row. Let's see. So we've already used the Mirror Force. We've already used the Torrential. So what's left is a Warning. All the Solemn Brigade, basically, to out the play, the Scrap Dragon play here. Econs could actually really hurt, but if you take this monster with Econ, he actually loses attack because you're now the new controller of it. So that never feels good. So Econ actually, this plays around Econ, believe it or not. So such a loyal synchro that when your opponent takes control of it, it loses attack points. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny interaction. So it's gonna go low fire. Yep. So it's gonna go into globe ball play, where they're able to synchro summon in with the Gores, I believe, because the token is bigger than Gores. That also puts a dark monster in the graveyard. Not like Tia already had a dark monster. Plenty of dark monsters to go around. So maybe a Stardust into a BLS. That could be a move. Brandon Lamb says Ancient Sacred Wyvern's gotten pretty dang expensive lately. Lucky I pulled an ulti for $25, but it is much higher lately. Yep. Thanks to the Tangu plant format as well as Edison, we have a high price tag on Ancient Sacred Wyvern. But luckily, we were able to get a reprint for Substitoad, which came out of Light of Darkness. Light of Destruction. So whatever set that Ancient Sacred Wyvern came out of, he could potentially get reprinted, assuming it's early. So looks like he's going to do the enemy control play. I don't agree with this play per se, but he could Synchro Summon with the Ancient Sacred Wyvern because the Glow Bulb can mill itself from the deck, from the graveyard, and then Synchro Summon into the Ancient Sacred Wyvern to go into a Scrap Dragon. That's the play that they could do here with the plant engine. So it is a Solemn Brigade after all. So paying half the life points means that Ancient Sacred Wyvern drops in attack points. So he's going to use the Glow Bulb here to go into Scrap Dragon, I believe. So this was a really good play from Jaden Yugi here because it basically makes it so that Solemn Judgment has to be used. Otherwise, he was going to Synchro Summon with the Ancient Sacred Wyvern. So that goes into Scrap Dragon. And then if he has another set card that they can set, he can blow up the Ancient Sacred Wyvern. And then this is pretty much lethal, I believe. Because that's what, 5,000, what is that? 6,800 life points. And he's at 4,000. So yeah, that was a good lone fire for them to be able to have a lone fire as well as a set card they can set. Because he did side deck the Decree. So it was very less likely that they were going to draw into something. Maybe a spell card they could have set to pop the monster. So yeah, looks like Tengu Plants is going to advance on to the top, or the finals. And it's going to be off against who knows what. Does anybody know who's going to be in the finals? Because I wasn't watching the other one. Yeah, it's between Tengu and is it Miss Valley? I don't know. Does anybody know? Let's double check here. Yeah, so Chaos Control versus Mist Valley is in the top 4. So let's see if top 4 is going to be Mist Valley. I mean, the finals is either going to be Mist Valley versus Tengu Plants, or it's going to be Chaos Control versus Tengu Plants. So we're going to find out pretty soon enough. I don't know who is going to be that, but I don't also see them playing, so that has to be the end. So we're going to go into the finals. So we're hitting the finals of Tengumania SmackDown 7. They should really rename this to SmackDown because it'd be awesome. A lot of wrestling fans I see in the chat, probably. Yeah, it is basically Chaos Control, according to Halfar, because it does play like Thunder King Ryo and a bunch of other stun cards. Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to wait until the finals gets paired up. We already kind of know who is in the finals. We just have to wait for, yeah, we just have to basically wait for the start. Who will be in the finals? It could be between TG's, not TG's. Is it TG's? No, it's Chaos Control. So TG got knocked out by Plants. Miss Valley knocked out the other Chaos deck. Man, this Miss Valley is going hard. Oh, man. Who would have thought like a Wind deck would actually do well in Tengu Plant format? I mean, I guess because Reborn Tengu is a good card, and it is a Wind type attribute, and it does trigger if you do bounce it back with Gen X Ally Birdman. But at the same time, making level 7 synchros seems kind of mid. I don't know about you guys. I was able to see the Thunderlord come down, and it is a 3100 beat stick. And 31 can beat over BLS. That's kind of nice. So a level 7 monster that can beat over BLS that isn't Ancient Stake Wyvern, and that's more easier to access for most decks. For the win deck, yeah, totally approve. Uh, yeah, I totally didn't expect this to be it. Pillar, yeah. So it looks like we're already starting off the matchup. Looks like Mist Valley got destroyed by Chaos Control. So it is a matchup between Chaos Control versus Tengu Plant. So Chaos versus Tengu Plants in the finals. Will Tengu Plant have another win? We shall find out. Tia here says that they lost in the round 1 and somehow was able to make the top cut. Yep. That is how it is. So Duality's going to come down here. They're going to activate it to add either a Lance, Deep Prison, or Tour Guide to hand. Looks like they added the Deep Prison, I believe. Or the Lance, one of those two. Summon Thunder King Ryo. Really classic duality into a Thunder King Ryo play. And he's going to set 2 back rows here to end the turn. Tia here is going to draw to 6 cards. We could theoretically see a Solemn Judgment come down because who sets 2 back rows anymore? Especially if it's not a dust shoot. And it doesn't feel good to have to set your Scapegoat with another spell and trap because you'd clog your board. And you don't want to clog your board with no tuners on board. So Tour Guide's going to be summoned here. Summoning the Sangad, I believe. I think Tia wants to respond with a Veiler. Or, yeah, it has to be a Veiler. Has to be. Taking a while on the activation here. But it looks like no Veiler's going to come down here for Pillord. Okay, so Sangan comes down. I just received word that WrestleMania is actually live too. So I don't know if it's a coincidence that they lined up this tournament with WrestleMania because this place is called Tengumania. I'm starting to think it's not coincidence. I think it was definitely planned. All right, so Leviathan Dragon's going to come down, and it's going to attack into a Spirit Reaper, unfortunately, and that's going to block out the attacks. So Tia's not going to take any life points here. Tia is at 8,000 life points, just an FYI. Don't ignore the 4,000 here. But Tia and Pillord is both at 4,000 life points. So setting 2 more back, still having the 2 set back rows. Tia could just theoretically draw into a Heavy Storm here for the punish to basically force out the Solemn Judgment. See, if they summon a Spore, or if Tia was able to summon a Lone Fire here, that wouldn't do much, right? Because a Lone Fire goes into a Spore and you Synchro Summon to an Armory Arm, that doesn't do anything. But summoning the Tengu here doesn't do anything either. Oh, I guess you could do that too. So taking the Thunder King Ryo, if there's a Lance that's set, that's going to force the Lance to be used on the Thunder King Ryo rather than the Spirit Reaper. But I don't think they have Lance because otherwise they would have used it on the Spirit Reaper earlier to do some damage. It has to be a Solemn Judgment because they set 2 back row going first. So most likely it's a Solemn Judgment. And they're just wondering whether it's correct to do it here or later. Now, is Tia gonna are they gonna allow them to go into an overlay for rank 4 and then attack with Utopia into the Leviathan Dragon? Or is it gonna trade? Or is it gonna be met with a Solemn Judgment? There's a lot of different plays that they can do here. 1-for-1. Okay, so we're going to do a 1-for-1 play here. Discarding the glow bulb, which is a good discard fodder. So they could make a Trishula with a spore. Or they can go TG Hyper Librarian first. Use the effect of Tengu to get the third Tengu. And then, no, but you would have to go glow bulb. So you would have to make glow bulb there. Maybe TG Hyper Librarian is correct here. Synchroing the Thunder King. No, it's gonna go instant Trish. Okay, so they're gonna go for the Trish play here. That's most likely gonna be met with. Oh, okay. So it was a Lance after all. So the Lance is going to hit the Spirit Reaper, and then Trishula is gonna resolve without targeting, banishing the light, the face down spell or trap, most likely, and a card out of the hand. And then attack over the Leviathan Dragon. Spore is in the graveyard as well as Glow Bulb. So they could make a level 8 synchro, right? No, there's no level 3 plant. So would it have to be like Glow Bulb into Catastor? Probably Catastor. Has to be Catastor. What's up, Z Hong? What's up, Diego Pina? Wonder when Subtotal will get replaced. It'll get replaced by August. So August is when the next set will be coming out for the reprint. So it should cheapen the price of it, but that's assuming if people are going to be opening products for that set. I don't imagine a lot of people are going to want to open or buy those products, but that comes down to the vendors. So I don't see Subtoad dropping significantly because Frogs is like a really highly wanted engine for Edison. And if Frog FTK formats ever come back, people want Subtoad as well. So they're going to spell summon Cyber Dragon here after the Trish to run over. What happened to the... was it Synchro Monster Contact Fusion? What happened to the second Reborn? I wasn't paying attention. Okay, whatever. So we have a Cyber Dragon facing down to Trishula. Trishula's going to attack. It's going to be met with the Mirror Force. Simplifying it. So now T is going to be at 3 cards to Pillar's 3 cards. So T is going to have to find a way to deal with the Cyber Dragon. There is a Glow Bulb in the future and a Spore in the future. So technically Tia does have 5 cards to Pillar's 3 because there's nothing in the graveyard that does anything. Okay, so Lone Fire comes down in main phase 2. Tribute summon itself for Dandelion. And then they can banish for Black Rose. I'm guessing it's a Black Rose play here. And then Dandelion's going to be Chainlink 1. And then Black Rose can be Chainlink 2. So Tia gets to end on a Black Rose with 2 tokens. Oh, okay. Choosing not to use a Spore effect here. Blocking out the attack with Dandelion, which is fair. So Dandelion's going to go to the graveyard. They're going to get 2 more tokens. And then they can banish for Lone Fire. My guess. Banish Lone Fire for Spore. No, he's going to go with the Glow Bulb first. Okay. I like the Spore first because he can go into Hyper Librarian and then go into Formula to draw 2 extra cards. But this play makes it so that he's forced to... If he makes the Formula here, and then... Or if he doesn't make Formula here, and let's say he goes into Spore first, then that walks into a Torrential. So it looks like they're going to wait for the Spore to be used later. It is a Solemn Judgment. So that's going to be met with a Solemn Judgment. Tia has not used a normal summon yet. That was all free. So now, are they under Maxi? No, they're under Maxi. So Tia can banish for a level 5 here to Synchro Summon. That puts a light in the graveyard, right? Yeah, it puts a light. And there's already a dark, so BLS is theoretically possible here. And if Tia really wants to be extra, they could contact Vision with Catastor. I'm assuming that's the way. Oh, that's right. That's right. How far says the formula was nasty, draw one, and then try to make intermission. So I guess they could do that. But I think you want a solemn judgment to teach your Hyper Librarian, and then if they make formula, you can contact Fusion after you draw. Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't. It doesn't really matter at the end because those are two resources that Tia was able to use to bait out the back row. But unfortunately, Tia doesn't have a Catastor, and they are going to go into Hyper Librarian instead, and that's going to be met with the one random honest. Wow. So Pillar can actually win this game if he top decks a BLS and Tia doesn't have anything to respond to that. But he does top deck into a duality, which can see a warning. Yeah, so the warning is going to stave off the summon, the next summon, and revealing the MST and the other card. So he's going to shuffle here, go into battle phase, attack, set the warning, and pass. I think he checked the graveyard to see if they had an MST. No MST was ever used, so it's very likely that card is MST in the end phase. Maybe not. So Tia on the back foot here. We are in games 1 still, I believe. Yeah, we're still in game 1. So it looks to be a really back and forth game 1 between two decks. Two high caliber decks for sure. So that was a really good average here. Making sure not to put back too many darks and too many lights. Leaving at least one dark and one light in the graveyard so they can special summon BLS here. Reborn Tangu all going back in the deck. Debris Dragon for sure, if I had to choose. And maybe a formula. No, not formula. Spear Reaper? Trishula? Okay, you need to make Trish too. So average is really good in this format because you're able to recycle all your important synchro monsters that are one-ofs, basically. So, because Duality was not activated this turn, Tia can do it a lot of different plays. If they side deck Cyber Dragon to contact their Cyber Dragon, that would be a good play because it will be met with a warning. And then they can just normal summon something to beat over the Cyber Dragon. There's just so many ways to out the Cyber Dragon here in this particular deck. There is a Dandelion in the graveyard, right? Yeah, there is. Tia only lost, let's see, 42, 400, so 46. So Tia is at 3,400 light points. And then Pillared is at 3,050. So it was a Debris Dragon, so that's going to be met with a warning most likely, so that Dandelion can't get its effect. And then if Tia has a way to special summon still, it'd be good. Nope. So it looks like we're going to rely on a one-turn normal summon. Battle phase, attack with Cyber Dragon. Tia's going to go down to 1,300. Still, I don't know what that set card is. It could be a bluff. I'm not entirely sure. That set card could be... It can't be a Dark Hole because they would have used it right away. It has to be like an enemy controller, if I had to guess, to shift the monster defense mode. But then that makes your warning dead because if you take the damage from Cyber Dragon, so it can be an econ. It must be like a dust shoot. I'm thinking it's a dust shoot set because Pillared has been drawing cards and he's low on hand size. So that set has to be like a dust shoot because it's been sitting there forever. It hasn't been doing anything. And the only thing I can think of that's not doing anything, it has to be a dust shoot. So the mind control is able to resolve here. The Veiler is able to be normal summon effectively. And so now we are going to see the Brightnut come down here. And if to guarantee that nothing happens, T can discard a card here to discard the last back row to attack directly for 2,300 life points. And then pitching a dead Foolish Burial. And yeah, Pillar admits defeat here. I still don't know what that back row, because it wasn't an MST, and if it was an MST, Tia would have been able to use it to clear out the warning the turn on they had the Solemn Judgment or Solemn Warning in the Cyber Dragon, and then he would have been able to normal summon the Debris Dragon, go into a level 7 Synchro. So the only thing I can think of that they would set is like not an MSC, but a Dust Shoot set. Had to be a Dust Shoot. Definitely gonna see the replay. So we're gonna go to game 2. Jane and Yugi in the lead. Most likely, Max T is gonna be sided for this mirror match, as well as more Thunder King Ryos. Black Horn of Heaven seems nice too. Who knows? What else do people side deck in the mirror match? DD Crow. I don't think there's anything else. It really comes down to like who can resolve their Teacher Hyper Librarian combo, and who can see their BLS first. I feel like that's the matchup. And if they see their BLS first, that means they have to find a way to deal with Thunder King Ryo if the opponent has it. So I mean, there's multiple ways to out Thunder King Ryo, especially in the mirror match. There's also Cyber Dragon too. People can spell summon Cyber Dragon to contact fusion with the Formula Synchron, now that I know. But also being able to waste the Thunder King Ryo effect on the Cyber Dragon. It's tough. Okay, now we're going to game 2. Let's see, it's going to be a 2 victory for Jane and Yugi, or is this going to be a an upset victory for Pillard? All right, Falso Dyna coming in. He is the Chaos Control player, so it makes sense that he would resort to playing the Falso Dyna here. As Pillar was able to summon the Falso Dyna against Roger Smith, and being able to lock out Roger Smith from even playing the game was really crucial to this strategy. Summoning Falso Dyna in setting 5 feels bad, man. So unless Tia is able to draw like a decree to out all this, Falso Dyna is going to sit there and poke Tia to death. A play I like to do against Falso Dyna is to set a Debris Dragon against the matchup, because the Debris Dragon typically just walls off against most of the attacks from the Chaos Control. They're gonna activate the Book of Moon here, and so the Book of Moon is gonna protect the Falso Dyna here, and so the one of Book of Moon coming in clutch could have been a Lance. Some of the Tengu here, so the Tengu is really good, but it's gonna be met with a warning. So no MSTs, no MSTs, no heavy storms, potentially. Setting 2 back row. Yeah. Chaos stun, guys. If Pillar had normal summoned a tour guide, if he had a tour guide on the following turn, tour guide would have been normal summoned to bring out a Leviathan Dragon. But then if you flip Falso Dyna, it blows up the Leviathan Dragon. So it would have to be something like summon TK Ryo. I don't know. Maybe they drew into TK Ryo. All right, so Falso Dyna clears an attack for 1200 here to Tia. Tia's gonna set a monster to the monster zone. And now what? Thunder King Ryo could be normal summon here, but it's gonna be another poke from Falso Dyna. Oh, going to battle phase first before normal summoning. Tia's gonna accept that battle phase change here to go back to main phase, and then warning the Thunder King Ryo here. Now I'm gonna go into battle phase here to attack into the face down. It's a deep prison. So unless they have Forbidden Lance, nope, Falso Dyna actually gets rid of. Okay, so playing a lot of back row defensive cards against the stun matchup was able to be. These are all really good cards against stun. T was able to draw a Smashing Ground, a warning for the second summon, a deep prison, and a Tengu to bait out all the back row. Summoning a Caius in Tengu platform is interesting, but it's going to be met with a warning here. The Sangan's going to be able to search for something that runs over a potential Dyna, second Dyna, assuming. Could also... Okay, so 1-for-1 could probably come down here. Usually when people search Dandelion, they have 1-for-1. So they're able to pitch the Dandelion here to go into the Spore or Glow Ball play. My guess it's going to be Spore. Yeah. And that's going to go down to 2 tokens here. No Torrential yet. All the warnings have been used. All there's left is a Solemn Judgment. I'm guessing it is a Solemn Judgment set. One of these two is Solemn Judgment, because they set 5. So Formula is going to be able to draw a card. Yep. So he's going to draw a card here. Not a real threat. Now Spore can banish itself to make a level 5 synchro. So no response yet. If they make a level 5 synchro, will that be met with a Solemn Judgment? Tia drawing really well for this particular game. Going straight into battle phase and then trying to get the rest of the life point down. With 1600 1600 life points, Pillord is only 1600 life points away from losing this match to Tia. MST is going to be hit in the end phase, and so we know for sure that the last set has to be a Solemn Judgment. So we'll see what happens here. Special summoning the Cyber Dragon here. Even if, let's see, if Tia activates the effect of Formula Synchron, it'll be an inherent summon. Wow, it looks like Tia was able to win this event, which is really nice. And so, yeah, we are able to see some, a Tengu Planet victory for sure.